This is gonna be so stupid. Oh god. Hello, Just a Cannon. Hello. Bookmark. Odyssey. And stalking all of your Odyssey accounts. Okay. Why the fuck is it listed as 8:30? Do they have like an 8:30 pre-show? It's like it's listed as 9. It's supposed to start at 9, but like the CNN YouTube stream starts at 8:30. I'm wondering what the fuck is up with that. I love Boomer Dome. Yes. Profile. Yep. 2 grandpas enter. 1 grandpa leaves. It's like two. It's like instead of 2 girls and 1 cup, it's like 2 grandpas and 1 debate, which is kind of funny. But a lot of state primary. Well, okay, all the caucus primaries are already done stuff, but like, it's still kind of funny. There's still like actual like state primaries still be held, but yet they've already kind of settled on. It's like, okay, this is going to be a Democrat, this is going to be a Republican. It's like it's a foregone conclusion. It's going to be these 2 old white fucks. I feel the need to remind people that this is a call-in shit show stream. So it's like, God damn it, people, call in. I can't talk to myself because that's weird. Like 30 of you watching. Go away, emojis. No, I don't want that. Okay, so I've been reading these here like live news, CNN debate, little postings and stuff, and they've been actually pretty funny throughout the entire day. Okay, 3 minutes ago, here's what to watch. It's like I don't care. It's so funny. It's so funny how unabashedly CNN is running interference for Biden with all this here stuff. It's like this one here from like 20 minutes ago. Newsom argues young voters dissatisfied with the 2024 candidates should focus on ideas, not age. It's like, wow, that's like utterly tone deaf to like the entire young voter base. I love it. I fucking love it. I have to kill a bear first before calling in an Ellen ring, not a pride parade, just to be clear. Yeah, to be fair, you're Swedish, so you have bears and moose up there like us. There's a couple of other posts that really gave me a chuckle too. Yeah, rules, don't care. Okay, long and short, for those of you who don't know, there's no audience. There's no audience. The moderators can mute the mics, and the question is going to be like, I think it's like 2-minute answer, 1 minute back and forth, 1 rebuttal, and they have to move on to the next question. So each question is going to be like around 4 or 5 minutes each, and it's like bam, 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 go. So stupid. I'm going to lose brain cells on this here. If I wasn't on like day 3 of like a horrible case of IBS, I was strongly considering hitting up the liquor store for some booze. But it's like, I just don't have it in me. By which I mean body fluids, because goddamn, I'm bleeding like a motherfucker. I was almost tempted to take a picture of my toilet, but no one wants to see that. Trump and his team are hyper-focused on performance and visuals. Duh. That's his entire marketing strategy. Biden campaign launching paid media blitz tonight around the debate. No shit. It took me a second to remember you guys are talking about Elden Ring. Oh no, another update. Biden has the best fundraising hour of his campaign ahead of debate, officials say. Yeah, whereas Trump raised several $1 million the instant he got convicted. You can't make this shit up. Okay, where was I? Yeah. Here's how members of Congress are watching debate tonight. No one gives a shit. Here's how Biden and Trump's campaign promises differ when it comes to education. No one gives a shit. I know Joe is ready to go. God. I actually do kind of feel a little bad for her because Joe Biden's watching her husband deteriorate in real time and on 4K on TV too. I do feel a little bad. Not entirely though, because they're a bunch of soulless fucking politicians. Trump will be direct and speak to voters on the debate stage. Potential vice president pick says. Byron Donalds, no. Although I was kind of hoping that they were going to before the debate announce who his Trump's running mate was going to be. There's a lot of speculation. I know Joe's ready to go can mean completely different things. I forget who I was talking with earlier, but a few of us have brought up the joke of like, wouldn't it be funny if one of them or both of them dropped dead in the middle of this? It would be fucking hilarious. Odds are Biden. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Odds are it will be Biden. But it would be funny if he just drops dead right there. And then we have President Kamala Harris for a few months. Oh God, you're huge. This is what you said to the bear.
Thank you.
There you are.
Okay, let me just... Okay, you can hear me fine, right?
Yes, I don't know what is what my aura of oral debuff, but you are fine.
Okay, great. I have to find the presidential stream, so I'll be current.
I should probably post the YouTube link in the stream. But there we go. It's kind of fun. They got chat disabled for his live stream. What a shock!
I'm more surprised they have a chat. God damn, their site sucks ass. Come on, CNN.
Well, I've been looking at their website for all today and stuff, and it's always been like, okay, here's the funny thing. I did not find the link to the YouTube link on their website. I had to actually go to YouTube, the CNN page.
CNN YouTube, yeah.
I had to actually go to YouTube itself to find the goddamn link on their page because it's not linked anywhere on the website. All the links to
do you get the CA site? Do you get the CNN.ca site?
I got the CNN.com.
Okay, because I get the international one, so maybe they don't want me watch two old men embarrass themselves live on stage.
Well, what I was getting at is that their website has all the TV listings, but not the website listing, which is funny to me.
Kind of shows the audience of who watches news.
Yeah, and I'm kind of impressed. It's only lowballing at 30,000 right now.
That seems low.
It does. That's the thing. It's like it seemed low for like. It's like 30,000.
You know, YouTube culls the numbers. Like Twitch shows numbers a lot better. And YouTube like culls a lot of people, but there are verified channels who don't get as culled as someone normal would. So I really only 30,000?
I'm like it's scheduled for 9, yet the stream's going to start at. I imagine there has to be like a 30-minute countdown or something.
Well, maybe they have. It's exactly like the fucking Games Fest. It's the same shit.
It has to be because on the CNN live stream channel they have the round table of people talking on TV. That's what they're streaming on the CNN website. Is the
I wonder if Day 9 is gonna host this one as well. I hope not.
No, okay. Here's my funny thing. If fucking Haka calls in, will he be in the future? Future, like
Oh
all the
yeah,
other times up until now.
15 seconds ahead. Trump's estranged niece says she will support Biden. I'm in Atlanta tonight to remind everyone who doesn't know this.
I've been watching YouTube mostly today, but in the little breaks, I've been just reading these little live pins on the CNN debate page on CNN stuff, and it's just so shameless. Like the shilling for Biden and poo pooing Trump is just so shameless. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you expect because fucking CNN, but it's still kind of like, come on, man. At least, okay,
Well,
okay. If you click the main page, now I get it. Now I actually get like
really.
the debate. Yeah.
Okay,
Mic muting. I love the fucking mic muting. No live audience in studio. Here's what to expect in tonight's debate. It looks like those fucking boomer Craigslist postings where like, I know what I got. No low ballers, no tire kickers.
Well, no, it's funny because they actually have it broken down by the minute. You have like each candidate has like at most 2 minutes to answer, and there's like 1 minute apiece for rebuttals before moving to the next question. So each question segment is going to last around 5 minutes, and this is supposed to go on for an hour and a half.
Wow.
With 2 commercial breaks, and I imagine the commercial breaks will be just them wheeling out like a giant like tube of like chemicals to pump into Biden up his ass.
I can't believe they're doing commercial breaks.
Yep.
That is so low.
Yep. So,
I guess that's like, since I'm used to public service, I don't. As soon as there's something like election related, there's no commercials because it's all on state television. But
I don't know. I we have the CBC, and even CBC has commercials because that's a money sink, as with all government programs.
that's very surprising that they're allowed to do that. Or our public service are not allowed to do commercials at all.
Well, I'll rag on Canada for one thing and stuff, but like our shit does not make money, so they have to make money somehow. So it's logical. I understand from your point of view and stuff, but like this is the one concession I'll be like, no, that makes sense. You're losing money, make money on the side.
Yeah. Still, I do like that Trump is going to heighten tariffs even more for China. That'll be interesting. I kind of want Trump to do that just out of spite because I want Americans to pay as much as I have to do for like PC parts.
Well, speaking of spite, I'm still chuckling over the fucking Julian Assange thing and stuff because Biden.
Yeah, what did he do? Because he's free now, but he did admit to something.
No, he admitted guilt. Like he pled guilty. So he pled guilty. The court ruled time served. WikiLeaks allegedly, apparently, deleted the DNC leaks. And that was the concession. But also the optics of like, oh, good old Biden, he forgave buddy before the debate, and that's literally all it comes down to.
Hard to call it forgiveness when it's like, oh, delete our leaked emails and we'll let you get free. It's like, that's not forgiveness. That's I think that's called blackmail. If you or I would do it,
Well, it's okay. It's okay when they do it.
Yeah, everyone's equal. Some are more equal than others.
something warning, something instruction manual.
Yeah. we have to do like one George Orwell reference. We might as well do Animal Farm instead of 1984.
Truth be told, of all the Orwell stuff I've read, Animal Farm is my personal little favorite, and that's like the only one we covered in high school. I kind of wish we covered 1984 in high school, but I probably wouldn't appreciate it nearly as much as being an adult. Like Animal Farm is a little more digestible for high school.
Yeah, we had to do 1984 instead. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was good. I did it in English class as well. So, my God, fucking, what a grim website this is. Like looking at the top news and the top stories is like U.S. Air Force member charged with kidnapping and raping Japanese schoolgirl.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a day it ends in Y with the Kadena Air Base.
And then right after it's like, SCOTUS rejects multi-billion-dollar Purdue Pharma opioid settlement that shielded Sackler family. So nobody gets paid for opioid addiction, and the Sackler family gets away scot-free.
Shameful.
Wow.
Shameful.
That's like actually awful. Oh my.
What's that family cabal that runs all the pharmaceuticals in the world?
Is that the Sacklers?
I think it is the Sacklers.
Yeah, because they owe Purdue Pharma.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's them. You know, I still remember the day I first heard about them stuff, and it was just like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it is kind of funny when, you know, often conspiracy theories are very like, oh, it's the same people who run everything. There's no nuance whatsoever. And then you find those industries where, like, yeah, it actually is like 10 people running everything, and they're all related, and they own every company.
Well, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. All conspiracy is two guys trying to fuck over a third. That's called life.
So, fucking reading the news now and waiting, it's like, this disorder has almost killed me. His addiction to ultra-processed food began as a child. It's like, I get the point, but
yeah, CNN will just rot your brain.
I mean, for fuck's sake, like, yes, I get that, like, processed food can be bad for you, but this dude is like, oh, the candies, the cakes, the pies, the ice cream. Like, of course he's fat. Like, dude, he's eating only fucking pastries. What the hell? I would steal things from stores as a kid, and later as an adult, my parents would find hefty bags full of candy wrappers hidden in my closet. This is an insane article, and they're doing like, oh, he's sitting, looking out of his apartment window, and he's so sad. It's like, he's stealing fucking cakes like some fucking 40s super villain. Like, oh, the lard ass strikes again. Superman has to stop him. What the fuck?
Well, I do remember the one Florida Man article of a Florida man breaking into, I want to say a Burger King, to literally just drink up the fryer oil.
Right. Yeah, I remember that one. For fuck's sake, how do you... fucking fryer oil.
Oh yeah, Kirsha's streaming this too. Actually, she's the one that gave me the idea.
I wonder, like, the low amount of people waiting. Okay, now it's 46,000, so it's increasing, but you know.
Okay.
But I wonder if everyone is watching a restream, basically.
They have to. Like, the majority of people have to be watching restreams of this year, because, like, even with YouTube fuckery and people watching stuff, like, I know no one cares anymore about this stuff, but to see, like, you know, we're creeping up on 50, so it's just like, I know it's not just America watching this. There has to be people around the world watching this year's shit show.
It is low for this big of an event. I see Sarka found something very, very... That was actually what I was thinking of, fucking Lex Luthor stealing 40 cakes. The amazing maths book meme. I think it's a textbook. Took 40 cakes. Yeah, that's literally the guy in the fucking article. Stealing cakes.
Me being more of an animation guy, is kind of weird seeing white Lex Luthor, because I grew up with the JLA animated Lex Luthor, who was LeBlack.
You know, when I watched that Batman the animated series, I never thought of Lex Luthor as black. I legit thought he was Italian. That's like not me going like, oh, Italians are black or anything, but I thought it was like an Italian or something because I knew that Gotham was New York. So Batman is the Anglo one, and then Lex Luthor is the evil Italian. Okay, this makes sense. It's New York after all.
I can't spell Luther for the life of me. God damn it. Lex Luthor, fucking JLU. Okay, you thought this here was Italian.
Well, in my defense, I'd never seen a black person or an Italian at that point.
This amuses me more than it should.
Look that one where it's a lot paler, like the middle row, where it has like a yellow curtain behind him.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Like you could buy that as an Italian.
Man, Mussolini really let himself go.
He does look a little Mussolini-y when he's bald and everything.
Yeah, Mussolini did have those fat dick sucking lips, so yeah, okay, I can say it now. That one's a little white too. I don't like this rabbit hole we're going down.
Well, they're about to pre-game in 5 minutes.
I'm just wondering if it's going to be, because they're doing a pre-game on the CNN like website right now, so I'm wondering if they're just going to tune into that or actually have a legitimate countdown. If they have a legitimate countdown now, the gamer ones we watched up until now, that would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, same people doing the stream prep behind the scenes. I do like their thumbnail because both Trump and Biden look like they've been given a smile with that fucking like Snapchat filter that people use sometimes when they like, take a picture in a video game or something. You add a smile on them.
Well, that the Trump picture is old. That's been like a promotional picture since like his initial application, his initial
Announcement.
thing.
Yeah,
his initial announcement like years ago and stuff. But the Biden one does have a tinge of creep to it. I think it's like half of it. Okay, here's my little thing with the Biden picture there. His little squint on his right eye makes him look a little strokish.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you can see that his one eye is more open, and the one side of his mouth is higher up as well. Kind of looks a bit like the Joker, actually. Kind of doing a Joker smile.
The longer I look at it, it's just like, could they not have taken a better picture? Because it looks like he's had a stroke.
I mean, he probably has.
I know, that's the thing. He probably has.
Yeah, I know. It's like, how do you take a picture of Joe Biden when it doesn't look like he's had a stroke? Because, God knows. Like, I watched that fucking when he was with Macron of all people, greeting World War II veterans. And like he has the leaves in the middle of it. It's completely like a doddering old man that doesn't know where he is.
Well, yeah,
and Macron has to run up and greet everyone himself.
Well, I just remember, I remember like the D-Day, I think it was the D-Day like ceremonies or something stuff, and they had that paratrooper come down, and then Biden wanders off, and then fucking Melanie from Italy has to be like, oh fuck, he's wandering off, and has to go wrangle him.
It's so fucking strange watching it because I've said it before, but it's exactly like the fall of the Soviet Union, where like every premiere was just older and older, and more, like premieres would have terms that lasted like 3 years because we're so fucking old and dying. Like, oh my god, it's the same shit.
Well, like there was that post earlier that I read off the website saying like I forget which politician it was, but it was just like, oh, to you young voters, don't worry about the age thing, focus on the issues. It's like, no, these fuckers are fucking ancient. Get like someone younger, please. That's literally what the younger voters want.
Yeah, I mean, who was the last president like under 60? Was it Kennedy?
How do you spell inauguration?
Spell check will do it for you, I think.
I'm just angry at myself. Okay.
No, I hear music.
I hear music too. Although I'm still curious about this inauguration thing. God damn it, I can't sort it.
Age of inauguration. They have it on POTUS.com. Oh my god.
Apparently the youngest one was Theodore Roosevelt, then Kennedy. So actually, good old Teddy Bear was a year younger than Kennedy.
Huh.
And then Clinton. That makes sense.
Yeah, like a fucking 78 years old. That is something.
Okay, I'm turning off the jingle. But yeah, it looks, yeah, it's literally just counter. Fucking fuck's sakes.
My god. They should have Jeff Keighley as a presenter.
Yeah, with fucking Doritos and Mountain Dew ads.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, you want the kids? You know, I was kind of low-key expecting like a Skibbity biting toilet reference at some point. Just because that was a thing. That was signed off.
Thank you, what's his name? Colbert. Thank you, Colbert, for killing Skibbity Toilet.
So Colbert is the modern torchbearer for the Family Guy killing memes thing.
Yeah, I mean, he commissioned that shit. And
okay,
they started talking.
Have they? Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
To go on the offensive, focusing on the danger.
But it's like a recap of what's happened before. It's like, oh, first time a sitting and a formerly sitting president goes to debate against each other.
I'll pay attention to it.
Allies urging
I
the former
guess.
president to do the opposite. Focus on policy-driven talking points like inflation, immigration, and crime, all areas they feel Donald Trump is much stronger
I like that
than Biden.
the crowd for Trump looks exactly like a wrestling crowd because they're holding up like posters with his picture on.
They cheated like dogs. They cheated like
I saw a really good documentary,
Trump has been
like a short documentary of Trump's meme magic for the for his 2016 election and stuff, and it was actually a lot less shitposty than I was expecting, and it was kind of like, oh, that stuff does make sense.
Yeah, I mean, his first campaign manager.
Not prisoners. I call them the hostages. What's happened? And it's a shame.
Even
Was it
Trump has
Bannon?
repeated these claims for years,
Yeah, exactly. So it was Bannon. He was really good at like building support and stuff. And when he changed campaign manager, you could really see the campaign getting worse.
Well, my thing that I really kind of hit me hard for that little document, I really got to find it and post the link. It was that Trump has been building his brand for decades, long before the president thing.
Yeah.
And he kind of circumvented, like Trump circumvented like the apparatus to become a president. It's like he kind of boiled down to, this is a popularity contest, and that's how I'm going to treat it, and that's what he did, and that's how he got it to work. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Take a look at what I've done since I become president.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, imagine if Schwarzenegger could become president. You know, now he can't because of, you know, the whole, you have to be born in the US, but I mean, if he could, he would win instantly just off branding alone.
Well, I remember talking with my mom at the 2016 election and stuff, and she bought into all the CNN hype and stuff, and she was like, rah. I'm like, Mom, Trump is pretty much the first president since George Washington who was not a politician who became president. Trump is literally the embodiment of the American.
And then there is
I
abortion.
mean, it also it really makes sense to have like a businessman as the president, because America is a country that means business. I think that's a that's a presidential quote, but I can't remember who.
20-week abortion.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like America right now does not need a politician. It needs it needs a businessman
For signing.
Yeah, and like at this point, who wants a politician to do anything? Like being a politician is a negative.
From a legal standpoint, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land.
Damn, Trump is going hard on the spray tan.
Only
He's always been bad for a
37%
spray
of US
tan.
adults agree with
I
Trump's
actually,
stance
I
that
do.
abortion
If
policy
I
should
remember
be
seeing
left up to
someone
the
mention
states.
that he has a lot of
And
liver
this issue
spots, and
has
that's why he
been a
really goes.
losing one
That's why
for
he goes heavy
Republicans
on
since
the
Supreme
spray
Court
tan,
overturned Roe versus
It makes
Wade.
sense.
just to cover liver
49%
spots,
of
and it
voting
does
age
make sense.
Americans support federal laws to
Yeah,
ensure
it
abortion
does make him
access.
look younger, and
For Biden, while recent job
not
numbers
not that
and
it's
slowing
difficult to
inflation
look
point
younger
to
and
a
healthier than
strong
Joe Biden.
economy,
You have to actually
Americans
actively
just aren't
try
feeling
to
it.
not to, but still.
The president is
Any
trying to make
advantage
the
is an
case that he's
advantage.
better on the economy than
Well,
Trump.
the bar right now is just not shit yourself live on TV. So I think Trump still has a few years in him for that.
While inflation
Yeah, I mean,
has slowed, it is still
depending on the
higher than
angle
when Trump was in
they
office.
shoot off Biden
And
is really
Biden has
interesting. He looks like
acknowledged
some
that
like
consumers, they are feeling
decayed
the
old
squeeze.
elf lich when you see him like not entirely side profile, but just as he has his head like slightly angled. He looks like an elf or something. He has kind of like pointy ears.
But polls show that the
Well,
economy is still a top issue for
we joke
Americans,
about
and
the
Biden is
powerful
losing
elite
this argument to his opponent.
cult with their
More Americans
revival
trust
techniques and all that
Trump
stuff. And I think
over Biden
I'm
to
kind of
handle
believing
both
in
the
Biden
economy
because Biden's
and
like deteriorated so
inflation.
much, but there's
On these
I imagine behind the scenes they're
potential
throwing
vulnerabilities for
out
both
they're
candidates.
throwing
The question remains,
all their
will
like
their
little
arguments ultimately
elite,
win
world
voters
power
over?
elite tricks. It's like we need to keep this guy alive for just a couple more months.
Viewers a sense of the rules of the debate.
I instantly think of
President Biden and President Trump
the old patriarch of the Rothschild family just recently, well, like last year died, and how he had like 5 heart transplants or whatever it was just to live that one bit longer.
Apart, directly across from them, the moderators, CNN's Jake Tapper and
I mean,
Dana Bash.
when you know what
Now, a
awaits you
reminder,
in the
this is a
afterlife, I
television
guess.
video. There's no
I guess
audience.
you do.
Candidates will have
You
2
have
minutes to answer
good
questions,
motivation
1
to
minute
just keep
for
harvesting
responses and
hearts so you
rebuttals.
don't die.
At the moderator's
Well,
discretion, there may
my
be an
joke
additional minute
for the powers
follow-ups,
that be is that
clarifications, or responses.
given how they
So how does the
worship
candidate know
literal
how much time is
devils
left to
and
speak?
stuff, they probably
Attached to
know
the
they're going to
cameras in
hell,
the studio and
which is
in the
why
Yeah,
they
exactly.
worship
view
why they
with
worship
timing
Moloch and
lights.
shit like
When the
that,
lights show
and
yellow,
Baphomet and all that
there's 15
jazz.
seconds left in a candidate's answer
Yeah,
or
well, you know,
response.
when you know
When
that
the
you have a
lights
cruel
flash
master
red,
awaiting
there are
you
5 seconds left.
for the rest
When
of your
display
eternal
is
life.
solid red,
You better run
time
for as
is
long
up.
as you
At
can.
that point, the candidate's
Yeah.
microphone will be turned off.
But the demons
other
win in the
candidate will
end.
have their
So
microphone turned
Yeah.
on.
it's literally war games. It's like the only way to win is not to play.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, like, the devil does keep his due, but he's gonna get what is owed after all.
To the candidate, his
Yeah.
microphone is on. When the green lights are off, they signal to the candidate his microphone is off. Now I want to give you a sense of what it will look like for viewers at home if a candidate whose microphone is off.
Are they showing like how the muting
Yes.
is going to look like?
So I'm standing
Yes,
up
they
to
are.
you, and I'll
This
ask
is
the
so-
come in and
They're
take
like
the other
preempting
photo.
it.
And
That's
let's
so
say
funny.
I'm
They're
answering
gonna
a
mute
question.
so
My
much.
light is green and I'm speaking. Phil's microphone
just
is
love how
off and his
pathetic this
green
is.
lights are not illuminated.
Yeah.
He's going to interrupt me as I'm speaking, and this is what it will sound like. My volume remains constant.
Man,
while
the black
Phil's
guy
interruption
really
can
looks
be
like
difficult
aged
to
up Corey in the
understand.
house.
Let's try the opposite. My microphone
Black
is
guy
now
to
on.
me looks like a
Microphone
slightly
is off,
skinnier
and
James
he's
Avery.
going to interrupt me. My
A skinnier,
volume
younger
remains
James
constant,
Avery.
While Victor's interruption can be difficult
I recognize
to
the name,
understand.
but I can't put a
CNN's
face to
production
it.
team has shared this
Uncle
demonstration
Phil,
with the
Shredder.
campaigns earlier
Oh,
today.
yeah,
We're sharing
yeah,
it
that
with
is
you,
true.
our viewers,
That is
so
true.
everyone fully understands
It's
how
like the
tomorrow night
really
will work.
short
Now, we
crop
should
beard
know,
and the bald
by
head.
agreeing to participate in
Yeah,
this
you're
debate,
actually
both
right.
campaigns
Goddamn.
and
Yeah, like the
candidates
salt and
have
pepper,
also
the
agreed
really
to
short
abide by
salt and
these
pepper
rules.
beard and the bald head.
Let's talk about one of
This
the
is like that's Uncle
logistical
Phil.
details of this, which is that if it's
Really
not
is.
your turn to speak as a candidate, then your microphone is going to be muted. But I was thinking about it and I thought, you know, your microphone might be muted, but if you're speaking, the audience may not hear you, but you could still be distracting to the person next to you, whose microphone the audience could hear. I mean, what do you think?
I think Joe
this
Biden's
could
going to be
create?
distracting for Trump, given how he's probably going to smell after he shits himself.
You're right, because you can't hear me as well, but people can still hear me
It's
if I
such a
raise my
bad
voice.
look
And so
to
just,
spend this much
distract
time on the
me, too.
muting, because, you know,
So,
you wouldn't
so
do
does
that
one
if
of
you're
the
not like ready
candidates,
to
and the
mute
odds are this would be
everything.
Trump, try to say the media is trying to silence me. They don't want me to have a spirited debate, so they turn
Yeah,
my mic off
like
so that I
right now,
can't
they're
answer them. I would assume that the format
preempting the
often becomes an
Reddit
issue
commenters.
too. The candidates
It's such
will
a
each come
bad
in with a
idea.
strategy. If things
Because
are
you know,
going
if
well,
you in
and you need
before
something to
too
complain
hard,
about, it's usually
just makes you
about
look
the moderators or
extremely
the format.
suspicious.
It's an age-old foil.
Well, it
in
just looks
politics
so
that they take a
petty.
shot. You can
That's
ask
all it
Chris
comes
Wallace,
down to.
he was
This
there
is
for
just
Biden
so
and Trump
fucking petty.
last time. You can go back before that.
Yeah.
The campaigns before ago.
Are there gonna be
It is
any more
interesting.
debates?
It's a format that we
My
have
other channels, because I know like the big news channels is going to re-stream or like re-broadcast this debate. Will they have any debates of their own?
I mean, you go in with rules,
I'm just wondering if this is going to be the only presidential debate.
They could also agree to break
Given like how it's probably going to go, I'm wondering if they're going to even allow another one after this. I think this literally might be the only one we get.
Yeah, because like personally, I don't think Fox News will, because they hate Trump.
You just ripped up your plan. Go for it.
Yeah.
So they don't want him to speak at all, because they want like some milquetoast, worthless Midwestern candidate that nobody even knows about to win.
At the shop, you saw that.
They kept supporting fucking the creepy Mormon guy. I know that's all Mormons, but specifically the one who ran for president. Mitt Romney was like completely, he could never be president. Like, that's impossible.
He brings up the crowd in the
uses the word incredible to talk about he died on the vine by being a Mormon.
He really had that like
his style of
religious weirdness.
In this environment where the mics get cut and he has no audience, he might get very
bored. Mormons are inherently creepy and stuff, but Mitt Romney wasn't doing any favors to that appearance.
Yeah, and then they tried to run the fucking Ted Cruz, a fucking robot.
In the swing states,
like that fucking Twitter post of him talking about how his daughter's first word wasn't butter or whatever. Like, that's so fucking strange. That was like a malfunctioning AI post.
Is Joe Biden too old? Is he wrong on immigration? Is he wrong on wokeness? Is he wrong on crime?
A cow made of butter. My daughter's first word was cow. What the fuck are you talking about? It was exactly like Mark Zuckerberg. It was a Mark Zuckerberg ass post.
Yeah, it's just like, how do you do, fellow humans?
For this debate,
and then Ted Cruz, or at least his intern, got liking horny tweets on Twitter when you can see the likes.
Whether he is going to come in.
I'm still chuckling that Twatter's gotten rid of those. It's pretty much specifically for that reason, pretty much.
I just want to play something else. Yeah. Rally over the weekend.
So stupid.
Should I be tough and nasty? Or should
I be... On one hand, we can't see likes anymore, but on the other hand, Elon Musk told CNN to take a hike when it comes to shutting down restreams.
Should I be nice and calm?
Yeah, you have to take the good with the bad, I guess.
Do you think?
I know that's why I've always considered that they're a mixed bag.
Riffing how he feels in the moment, or is it something he kind of thinks of as he's going to bed that night and just thinks in his head, doesn't tell anybody else?
I think sometimes he plays around with these things on his own. I think sometimes, as you see, he poll tests it.
Oh God, I just want to slap everyone involved right now.
Whatever's on his mind is often what he does.
I do remember that white-haired guy. Wasn't he like?
He's been poll testing everyone about
real
at various fundraisers.
I think he was CNN's main anchor for like the entirety of the Trump presidency.
Last debate, or
because he was a very outspoken,
and I think he will be very mean.
Critic,
I would be very surprised
let's say, of Trump.
Ray Flores owns a handful
well,
of
to be fair, all of them are, but I think he was like the point man for CNN.
Who will share the
because he's like a serious guy, you know. Like,
both had 4 years.
He puts on his serious pants.
8 years more frustrated.
The funniest thing was the fucking the Brit.
I wish we had a candidate
who went insane over the fucking 2 ice cream scoops. That was the weirdest thing to get pissed off about.
I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Oh God, I remember that. That was so fucking stupid.
That a lot.
Yeah, two scoops of ice cream. 2 scoops. Anyway,
yes,
so
President Biden has
what the fuck are you going insane about?
Biden.
Strangest fucking things.
Absolutely. I think he's done a great job.
So does Donald Trump.
I liked what happened.
I don't know. My thing when it comes to all the anti-Trump stuff, it really reeks of "and Hitler like sugar," you know, that kind of shit.
Which makes this debate.
Yeah, and we're like,
campaign.
Did you know?
I just don't feel
Donald Trump's family is German and it used to be named Trump. It's like, yeah, like every fucking Miller in America was named like Miller in German. Like, what a stupid thing. Like, yeah, people change their last names when they come to America so that Americans could pronounce them.
And in other places,
what a fucking...
must dominate. Like
how can you even criticize that? It's like nothing.
I can only afford so much, you know, with whatever job I find.
Even strong Biden supporters complain of supermarket sticker shock.
Economy, age, Israel-Hamas war, key concerns about Biden for voters.
The president's age is already part of the
and what is the Biden team going to try to avoid? All these issues.
A bigger Biden problem with
Did you see there was a gamer
anger
girl?
at his handling of the Hamas-Israel conflict.
Oh god.
I don't think anybody
Drove a
wants,
fat girl
nobody
who
wants to vote for
played
Biden.
like
If Biden wants to
Valorant
get
on her
certain
PC.
votes,
So
he
you know,
needs to change course.
Biden is courting
Trump,
the
though,
gamer
also
vote
has a
clearly.
long list of weaknesses that could be debate flashpoints. Joan London just left the Republican
I don't
Party.
know. When
and
it
registered
comes
as an
to anything
independent.
internet-based, I'm pretty sure people are still riding on the meme magic of Trump.
Just a different emphasis.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, he did lose his presidency once. That is, I was surprised. I thought he would win, because the incumbent basically always wins. But he did not.
I remember watching it.
Well,
I really wonder.
Well, thankfully, since we're not on YouTube, I can actually point this out. The last, the elections are never fair, but the last one was like the last election in 2020 was legitimately stolen.
Yeah.
Matt Verhoeven
Yeah, I don't know like how much it pushed everything over the edge, but it was certainly like when they just made shit up about voting machines. Like, oh, they malfunctioned, all of them in this key state. And it's
No,
like,
but you
they
have to remember a lot of cases where like, oh, the camera's turned off in the middle of the night. Oh, this place lost power. Oh, this place had to burst water pipe, and that happened like everywhere. And it's like, oh, suddenly magically Biden got like thousands of votes magically overnight. What a shock.
Relevant today,
Yeah, the legendary mail-in ballots.
Between Mike Pence
I don't know.
and Kamala Harris.
The last American election was like, Jesus Christ, you're not fooling anyone. I always come back to this point. They're not trying ananymore.
After especially hearing from all
Yeah,
those
like,
voters that John King has spoken to
Kind of sad to see
reasons that
like
you
actual
think Joe
third
Biden
world
might have an advantage this evening.
voting fraud going on.
Well, he might have an advantage.
I know, like you said earlier before, like the fall of the Soviet Union, like the end of the Soviet Union, like how bad things got. This is pretty much literally it.
I think that Biden could have a good.
I mean, you know, there's always been like political machines in the cities in the United States, you know, and like gerrymandering, but like it's just straight up cheating on votes. It's like it's a bad look. It's a very bad look.
Shows up and does as he did at the State of the Union address.
It's very hard to claim to be like the paragon of democracy, and then you're just like, oh, do like the most primitive kind of voting fraud.
The worst debater of all time, I think, was how it was said at one point. And obviously, that's.
I want to find that video I watched the other day because it was really interesting.
What are the reasons that you think Donald Trump may have an advantage this evening?
Hype train video.
All of the things we heard from those voters.
Okay, well, no, that one there was interesting, but no, it's this one here I watched the other day was actually really.
Their paychecks,
really interesting.
The number of bags of groceries they can get.
People who can watch it can watch it later.
And they've lived this for a while, and so he has been good on pinpointing.
But that one meme theory I watched earlier, that was really interesting. Made me think.
Take a listen to.
I mean, it was kind of the right time for him to run as well.
Over the last several weeks.
It's clear we have the strongest economy in the world.
Oh, we have the strongest economy in the world.
15 million new jobs created in 3.5 years. Unemployment hasn't been this low.
Yeah, unemployment has never been this low. Yeah, I believe that.
Well, I saw a news article, like, I think it was literally yesterday, that Biden, it was either yesterday or the day before, Biden executive ordered the border to be closed. It's like, we closed the border. You were the fuckers who opened it.
Want to keep it going to level the playing field by making
the fucking like,
begin to pay their fair tax.
You check like, oh, state the governmental jobs in the U.S. are like 90% were specifically given to women and minorities. Like, yeah. Like, how much of that is like make work?
More than you ever made, and we had no inflation.
Well, beyond the point of I don't believe the federal government should exist, you want to fix the deficit. What you want to do is get rid of all those thousands upon thousands of government workers, and then suddenly you lose a big money sink.
Yeah, it made me think of like the New Deal. Like how much of the New Deal was just like make work, like paying people to pay roads by hand, which, you know, not especially like
on that issue. He's been
kind
benefiting
of a wasteful spending, but
he certainly has.
It actually gave something. Like this, the new
economy issue is
New Deal. Like was it the new Green Deal? What did they call it? They call it something like that, right? And it's like
I forget what the marketing for it was, but yeah, it was nothing.
Yeah, it was like completely worthless. Just spending money, basically no real jobs, no infrastructure, nothing for it. It's amazingly. The more I think about it, the more like Soviet it is, with like this big failed project that produces fuck all. Like the new Green Deal was like Biden's equivalent of planting corn in Kazakhstan. Like
about it during his most recent rally.
That was Khrushchev, I think.
Yeah.
A complete failure, just destroyed the topsoil, helped drain the Aral Lake and everything. It's complete worthless programs that succeed in doing fuck all.
R.I.P. the Aral.
All of these places are causing
Yeah, that's sad.
Kate, for all of the
corn and
unpredictability
cotton
people
destroying an
choosing
entire
Donald Trump, I know
lake.
this is coming. If you're the Biden team, what are you telling
I
the
know. Well, I
president
see
doing in that
farming
room?
policies in fucking like California during like the decade-long drought. They're still growing like cotton and almonds and shit like that. It's like,
have this as a political issue. I think there is a
pistachios.
lot of purchase
Like
for Biden
fucking
in that
growing
argument.
luxury
I don't think he
nuts
should be.
of all things.
I feel like he needs to be back on his heels on this. I think he can certainly and should
But
talk
no,
about
you
what he's
can't
done,
collect
the steps he's
rainwater.
taken over the
However,
last few
we
months
will
in
have to
particular.
produce
He can talk
luxury
about the fact that
agricultural
on day
goods.
one,
I keep forgetting that not being able to collect rainwater is a crime in a lot of places. That's so fucking retarded.
Worked on this issue.
That is like
I think
shocking.
the big weakness for Trump on
Honestly,
this issue
because it's such
is the
a
fact that he
dictatorial
stumbled
law.
that he essentially
Like actually,
said,
it's
"I want this
a
as a
form of
political
actual
issue."
water
People don't
rationing.
Like that. The other thing I would say about this that I think is maybe a little counterintuitive. People like the tougher measures, no question, but they don't like a lot of Trump's rhetoric around this issue when he says that immigrants
like the
poison
rhetoric.
the blood of our
It's
country,
like,
and
dude,
they didn't
people
like
want
family
Trump
separation.
to
So
go
there can also be
harder
some
on like
benefit, I think, for
immigration.
Biden in getting Trump going on this issue because Trump
Yeah,
has
because like okay, let's say magically Trump gets in this time around stuff. Gloves are off. He knows how the system is at this point and stuff. He's gonna be like, fuck everything. I'm gonna burn it.
Absolutely. They think it's
Yeah, I mean, it's either that or the worst case scenario, he wins and he's like completely impotent and worthless.
I know there's like no middle ground on this.
Yeah, because like that would be the absolute worst thing because remember his first presidency, like it was very underwhelming.
Because this issue is so potent on the border security part.
Of course, he did.
Also speaks to the
Did deport a bunch of illegals, he did take away some regulation, he did increase tariffs, but so little and way too late. And as soon as the COVID came, he was like #1 vax maxer. Like he loved vaccinations. Like he did all those orders, like, oh, we have to have a vaccine out in 8 months or whatever.
Yeah, and of course he was Satan when he did it, but the instant the Democrats got empowered, and it's like, it was our idea the entire time.
I did love his little speech about like testing for COVID, and it was like, I didn't have DNA, I had USA.
How they approach
Such an amazingly funny thing to say.
Campaigns are setting up.
Okay, I recognize the guy with the white beard, but he really looks constipated right now.
Best for them. I mean, if Donald Trump is not going to succeed at doing a mock debate and having side-by-side candidates and having people play Biden necessarily, why would you put your candidate in that position? You want to make sure.
How can a guy with such a cool name be such like a fat schlub?
For the debate as they are going to communicate
Ethan Ralph
on the stage, and so
that's all I'm thinking of right now. Like old Ethan Ralph.
I would imagine doesn't surprise many Americans. I think we can see day in and day out as they present themselves to the country.
I hope Wood Blitzer can avoid showing his gun on stream. I would really appreciate that.
What is the same for them?
I still, to the end of my days, I'll never find it not funny that Ethan Ralph's only a few months younger than I am, and yet he looks like he's on death's door.
But also great risk on this stage. This is a debate earlier than ever before.
Let's not hope he is, but
for them to
he might just
focus in their message on those persuadable voters, many of whom have been disengaged, get them engaged, and start making an argument that those voters are hearing from them.
What is the secret to winning a presidential debate and also winning over voters, more importantly?
Well, that is a manly looking
something
woman.
that is all on top of mind.
Her eyebrows are way too thick.
Former President Trump tonight.
Yes,
is it a vibe?
way
is
too
it a
sharp
zinger?
facial feature.
Maybe it's a moment like this one.
I think when you make that decision, it might be well if you would ask yourself, are you better off?
My favorite Israel worshipping boomer faggot.
We need fundamental change in this country, and that's what I'd like to bring.
Hey, look, it's a drone strike operator.
I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation.
It's just awfully good
Hillary
that someone
Clinton. No, but that's good. They almost did a star wipe over Hillary Clinton. That's amazing.
Because you'd be in jail.
Those three moments and many more are the kinds that my next guest has
I
studied.
can't believe they're
and
actually
voters'
fucking up.
reactions to them for more
They're
than
fucking
3
up the
decades.
pre-show.
Longtime
I can't believe
pollster
it.
and
Oh my God, this is
communications
amazing.
strategist Frank Luntz joins me
Very,
now.
very fun that they're
And Frank,
pretending
you
that
have
Hillary
written this
Clinton
really
ever had
interesting
a moment of
article today
charisma in
about
her
what
entire
actually
life.
wins voters over when it's in debates. And shockingly, to those of us on cable news, it's not always what the pundits think is the biggest takeaway.
No, it's very frustrating. In my walk here, I was saying to some of your staff, be very careful who you predict is the winner, because voters see it very differently. They're not trying to score points. They don't care if you trip up on something, and they're actually not focused precisely on every detail. They're looking at the personality. They're looking at the presentation. Do I trust them? Do I like them?
I'm just looking at this. I'm just looking at this. I'm just looking at the studio feed right now. I'm really half expecting them just wheel out Biden in like a handcart
Trump lost that debate with Joe Biden
and just plop him right there.
And
it's
why he beat Hillary Clinton. And that line there.
I'm kind of surprised that they're like
oh my God,
debate expert actually knows what he's talking about.
He'd throw her in jail. And every network went nuts on him. Our focus group said, oh my God, he's actually going to hold her accountable. This is exactly what we're looking for in politics. So he was a disaster in 2020.
Yeah, but did the higher ups at CNN care? He's just there to save face.
Did not like that moment.
Yeah, but you know, it's kind of impressive that they brought someone else that actually knows what they were talking about.
In jail because he doesn't like her. But when you actually look
That's
at this,
more than I
you
expect of
write in
CNN.
this and say that the key moments that will have the greatest impact on the remaining
I have a
undecided
curious
voters,
thought.
which is obviously what we're all paying attention to here, are those in which the candidates attack each other in defining ways or undermine the political case that each wants to present to Americans. Viewers will quickly decide whether the accusations are fair or
Oh my God,
responses
Young Turks are
effective.
alive.
If
I knew it.
you're trying to appeal to these independent, undecided voters Thursday
I was
night,
just curious.
what does that look like?
Like the worst political takes you could ever get, probably. That's impressive.
I know, but I still remember the side-by-side comparisons between Alex Jones and the Young Turks during the 2016 election. It's just like, oh man, the memes from that alone was just
Do you
amazing.
really want to go back to that chaos? Do you really want to go back to, and I'm going to do
I just
that
can't
for
get
3
over
or
like
4
the fact
times.
the fact they name themselves the Young Turks, which, you know, name yourself the Kamal Ataturk's party is kind of a interesting move, let's just say.
Trump wants to own Joe
And
Biden.
the fact that
He's got no
fucking
self-control
Cenk
whatsoever.
Uyghur has a fucking
And in Joe Biden's case,
Armenian
he really
concubine
hasn't
with him
figured
on the
out how
show.
to handle the ex-president.
Like a fucking
And he's
sultan.
not
That is
made the case
like
for
a
his
fucking
own
incredible thing to happen.
re-election as well as he could have. The
Oh
economy is better.
yeah, he has the self-hating. Well, he has the self-hating Armenian, and he also has all that coke and horse porn.
When you're
I love
watching
Osh.
a football game and you're there and you can hear the audience or you're
What a-
watching on
what a
TV or you
crowd,
can see
what
the
a
refs and their calls. When you look at this,
villainous
there's no
cast.
audience. For a moment like that, what Trump said about Hillary Clinton, there would have been no
I can't
reaction
get over this
to that inside that
broad's
room
like
if there had
brow
been no
line.
audience. If there's that, if the mics are being cut off, and maybe we'll still see them
Yeah, it's
talking
a
in
very
two shots,
powerful
but not
brow
actually
line.
hear them, how much of a difference do you think that'll make?
Huge. It's a big deal. These rules do not help Donald Trump. He was so eager to get Joe Biden into a debate that he said yes to anything. If I'd been advising him, I would have said, not this one. Yes, you want to debate him, but
Saying the
not through these
obvious, like,
rules.
why
You
does she
need an
just sit
audience.
every debate
And
out?
second,
It's fair that he
he's
says
so
nothing.
Yeah.
He has no faith in Biden even being able to complete a sentence. So week after week, he made fun of him, and now he's trying to reverse that. Now he's trying to raise expectations. It doesn't work. If you tell people for months, this guy can't complete a sentence.
Yeah, with a week to go, and you're saying, oh, he's going to be formidable, or this year's, he's going to be jacked up on drugs was 2020's, oh, he's going to have an earpiece, both ridiculous accusations.
Yeah, ridiculous accusations. Yeah, sure. Very
I don't even
ridiculous.
think CNN can even gaslight themselves at this point.
On the stage. Everyone knows everything about them. Is there anything really left to say to change voters' minds, do you think?
Not much. 70% of Americans do not want these two people. They're upset that it's Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. In the end, I believe we're going to be voting those final undecided voters, not on the candidate they like, but on the candidate they dislike the least. And that's why our democracy is so challenged right now. We're not happy with our
Democracy is
choices.
so challenged.
So we're trying to vote for
mentally
the
challenged.
least worst evil.
CNN's Jeff Zeleny brings us now this look at how much the United States, the world,
Historic
and these two candidates
rematch.
have changed
I mean, it's correct, but
since
it's a very
they
funny way to
first
put it.
took the stage.
The historic rematch between Joe Biden and Donald Trump is anything but a rerun. A vastly different set of issues are driving this race as the president and former president come face to face for their first debate of the 2024 campaign. 4 years since they shared a stage.
You're the worst president America has ever had.
Hey,
Come
Joe,
on.
in 47 months, I've done more than you've done in 47 years, Joe.
Feels like an upside-down lifetime ago, back when the coronavirus pandemic was raging.
Pandemic was raging.
You have to
Yeah.
understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here.
Man, it's been
Put
4
the
years.
mask on, you know, when I think I
I don't want to think
This
about
is
it.
his economy that's been, he's shut down.
In the Biden-Trump sequel, an entirely new fight has been brewing on the campaign trail.
We could end up in World War III with this person. He's the worst president.
Don't promise me a good time.
And in TV ads.
This election is between a
Yeah,
convicted
you want the
criminal
conscripted.
who's only out for himself and a president who's
I think I'm
fighting
still
for
a
your
year out from aging out. I forget what the historic
Canadian,
because we haven't had conscription on the books for years and stuff. So if they were to dust it off, I forget what the cutoff was. I think it was 40.
And all its fallout to a new fight
Yeah,
on
we have
abortion rights.
really high
In the
ones.
wake
I
of
think
the
my
US
dad
Supreme
is
Court
still
overturning Roe
plays
versus
for
Wade,
conscription.
to
He's over
Russia's
60.
invasion of Ukraine and a war in the Middle East, to the very stark question of America's role in the world. Yet the economy, inflation, and immigration are still at the center of it all.
Wow, who would have
Trump's
guessed like
record
the
was at
three
heart of
most
their last
important
debate,
topics would be at the
even as he
center of
sought
it all?
to
I am
deflect.
surprised for
If
one.
he gets in, you will have a depression the likes of which you've never seen. Your 401ks will go to hell, and it'll be a very, very sad day for this country.
While those warnings
Wow,
didn't
it's
come to
almost like
pass,
he can
Biden's
predict the
record is
future.
now under the microscope, complicating
Well,
his
those
efforts
things
to
didn't
make it a
come to pass. Like,
referendum on Trump.
the economy is doing
fact is that
great,
everything he's
guys.
saying so
Everyone is
far
doing
is simply
fine in
a lie.
America.
I'm
It's
not here to call out
wonderful.
his lies. Everybody knows he's a
Nothing has
liar.
increased in
America's
prices.
oldest
Yeah.
presidential candidates are even
I
older.
just like their
Trump,
job
78,
metrics because
Biden,
they
81,
cherry pick
with age
the
and
job
fitness for
metrics. It's
office
like,
now a central
yeah,
issue
we've
in the
hired,
race.
we've rehired everyone that was laid off. Great growth numbers there. Yeah,
Public opinion for
awesome.
presidents can be punishing.
Yeah, and also rehired everyone. Like, yeah, no.
2020, with nearly
I
6 in
don't
10
believe that.
Americans
Sorry.
holding an unfavorable
I know.
view. Perceptions
Yeah,
of Trump
it's
have changed
like a
less, with more
disbelief
than
on top of
half still
disbelief kind of
seeing
thing.
him in an unfavorable light. Televised debates have long been a storied part of presidential campaigns.
And also, it doesn't matter if you rehire everyone when everything is like 50% more expensive.
This showdown is without parallel. The nation's 45th and 46th presidents, still seeking to define one another in the earliest general election debate in memory. An old duel being fought on new ground.
It is kind of a strangely low-key election, though.
Yeah.
It's not at all like 2016.
Or even
So much
2020.
calmer. Yeah, 2020 even. It's like everyone is tired. The Ukraine war and COVID, everyone's just tired. Do people even care anymore?
No. Actually, I didn't take a look at what the fucking YouTube numbers were for this.
It's like 340? 400 and...
Yeah,
591,000. Okay, yeah, these are more reasonable numbers.
Oh, it's jumping by hundreds of thousands at this point. Everyone's tuning in at the time.
Yeah, we're the
Okay.
only idiots watching the pre-show.
Well, the
What
game
did I
show.
miss?
Well, the game's streams prepared us for watching the pre-show.
Yeah. Let's hope they announce some better games.
No, I think we're getting paid DLC.
That's true.
We're live from Georgia, a key battleground state in the race for the White House. In just moments, the current U.S. president will debate the former U.S. president as their party's presumptive nominees.
How is their auto text so bad?
I want to welcome our viewers in the United
I don't have closed captioning on.
Studios in Atlanta. This is the CNN presidential debate.
Kind of curious now.
This debate is being produced by CNN and is coming to you live on CNN International.
Oh god, it is fucking horrible. Now go away.
Yeah, you can actually see that someone is typing it.
Yep.
Just because how the words are typed out, like you can see someone's actually doing it on a keyboard.
Donald Trump in their rematch for the nation's highest office. Each will make his case to the American people with just over 4 months until Election Day. Good evening. I'm Dana Bash, anchor of CNN's Inside Politics and co-anchor of State of the Union.
I'm Jake Tapper, anchor of CNN's The Lead and co-anchor of State of the Union. Dana and I will co-moderate this evening.
I'm Godzilla, and I don't care.
To facilitate a debate between the two candidates tonight. Before we introduce them, we want to share the rules of the debate with the audience at home.
The rules.
Former President Trump will be on the left
You know
side
the
of
rules, and so do I.
President Biden will be appearing on the right. A coin toss determined their positions. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer.
I would vote for Rick Astley.
1 minute each for responses.
I mean, he can't do a worse job.
An additional minute for follow-up clarification.
Like, not even joking at this point. Like, fucking, let's get random Joe Schmo from nowhere, Minnesota, into the office. He would do a better job.
His opponent's microphone will be turned off.
I'm just floored at how they're focusing on the muting thing. Like, they've never really hammered in on the muting thing.
They must be so goddamn worried what people will say about it. I kind of hope they mute a lot, because that will like be a win for Trump. Like, even if it's justified that they mute him because he's like too distracting for like old man Biden, it's still a super win for Trump, because it looks so bad. It's like, oh, the Democrat Party have to censor Donald Trump.
Yeah, like the first campaign after this here, if they go hard on muting him, it'd be like, hey, they can't shut me up now, and then fuck.
And please welcome the 45th president of
Joe Biden walks like an NPC from like a PS1 game. He just kind of glides into the podium. I'm surprised he doesn't like clip through something.
Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Let's begin the debate, and let's start with the issue that voters consistently say is their top concern: the economy. President Biden, inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then now costs more than $120.
I'm already tuned out.
And typical home prices have jumped more than 30%. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president.
Oh my God, he sounds worse.
We had an economy.
He sounds like he has a sore throat.
The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we
has to go 90 minutes
together again. And that's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs.
Yeah, he keeps coughing.
Oh my God, this is going. Oh man, this is going to be bad.
What if he dies?
I know we made that joke. I know we've been making that joke, but Jesus Christ, I think that might actually be it.
Yeah,
it's not off the table.
A problem. Price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of housing, the price of a whole range of things. That's why I'm working so hard to make sure I deal with those problems. That we're going to make sure that we reduce the price of housing. We're going to make sure we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure we cap rents so corporate greed can't take over. The combination, what I was left with in corporate greed, is the reason why we're in this problem right now. In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos, literally chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a major issue for many people, to $15 for an insulin shot as opposed to $400.
Trump is a master of body language. Like I love him.
Yeah.
For any drug, all the drugs they can include.
Just like the odd purse of lips, and just like the side eye.
And we're going to make that
just slightly moving around.
All Americans. So we're working to bring down the price around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
Thank you, President Trump.
Oh, did you hear that? President Trump.
We have never done so well.
This is magical.
Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us.
We all heard that.
COVID.
Yeah, he actually did.
And when we did, we spent the money necessary.
Is this like us not being Americans, and you maybe you do call ex-presidents president still?
So we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and
because if not, that's
so many other
that is a Freudian slip and all Freudian slips.
And we should have
President Trump.
Mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country. But other than that, we had given them back a a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce-back jobs, the bounce-back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
Thank you. President Biden?
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world.
Stop saying the great economy in the world.
I don't know anybody else who thinks.
Oh my God, Biden's so slunched over.
And you know, the fact of the matter is that we find ourselves.
We're not even 10 minutes into this. Biden's fucking dying.
This makes me think of when John F. Kennedy won the presidency, because he looked so much younger and healthier on TV.
Yeah, like the JFK versus Nixon thing on TV and stuff was so that there was like a moment in history, and this is like almost repeating itself. I swear to God.
Yeah, because fuck, man, like Biden looks so bad and he sounds so goddamn bad as well.
We were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
President
Oh, that's a bold-faced lie.
If I can.
Yeah. Am I allowed to respond to him?
Well, I'm going to ask you a follow-up. You can do whatever you want with the minute that we give you. I want to follow up. You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S. How will you ensure that that doesn't drive prices even higher?
It's not going to drive them higher. It's just going to cause countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China, and many others. In all fairness to China. It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down, and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce-back jobs. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
He inherited 9% inflation. No, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, and they don't know what they were doing. It was the worst, probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years,
Dude, look at Biden.
Administrations, the national debt soared
completely
to
lost.
highs. And according to a new
Oh my God, he's fucking zoned out.
He might have died.
$4 trillion in
He
new
might
debt.
not be alive.
Well, so far, President Biden, you've approved $4.3 trillion in new debt. So former
Okay,
President
he's
Trump,
doing it again. I think it's just courtesy to call him president.
Yeah, but he said former. The first time it was president, not former president.
I think he said president again. I think he's bouncing back and forth.
Pay even less in taxes than they do now.
Maybe he's smart. Maybe he's like hedging his bets. He's like, I'm about the good ones at CNN, Mr. Trump, if you win.
Get through COVID much better than just about any other country.
That would be fucking hilarious.
That tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took in more revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country. The country was going like never before, and we were ready to start paying down debt. We were ready to start using the liquid gold right under our feet.
I'm kind of not
the oil
buying
and gas right under our feet. We were going to have
this bit.
something that nobody else has had.
I don't really see an America paying down their debts ever.
Oh God, no.
Unbelievable situation with
the nukes will fly before America pays off his debts.
That we came up with.
Yeah.
We gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it. More people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it, something which a lot of people don't like to talk about. But he had far more people dying in his administration. He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor
very
job.
good and safe way to address COVID. Like not saying like, oh, the vaccine is fake, blah, blah, but like going like, oh, it shouldn't have been mandated. That's like the best way you can go about it.
The United States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent, all of the things he's done, we've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame.
Oh God, Trump is just going double guns ablazing.
I'd love to ask him, and
He's
That's a
fucking
good thing to mention. Like,
he's John wooing this shit. I love it.
Institutions to come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question about the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires.
Yeah, he had the largest debt until you came in. It's funny how it always goes up.
They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be
1.2 million watching.
Sure all those things we need to do, child care.
But you won't use the money for that.
Strengthen our
Like,
healthcare system.
I hate the whole pretending that we'll ever pay off any debt.
Person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with
he's lost it.
Dealing with everything we have to do with look. If
oh my God!
Oh God, he's blue screening.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
Jesus fucking Christ!
All of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to put them on Social Security.
Biden's going to destroy Social Security by needing all of that money to keep him alive. God damn.
About Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished.
And his voter base.
It's a shame.
He is so gone.
Country in the last 4 years is not to be believed.
We're not even 15 minutes in.
I'm friends with a lot of people.
This is going to be an hour and a half.
What happened to the United States of America?
This is insane that his team let him go up on stage.
We give them
like, he can't even look into the camera. He's completely lost.
They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us.
The Democrats are going to lose just from this here debate alone.
Absolutely criminal.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
He said something was muted. Biden was muted. He said something. He like said something out loud.
This morning, the court ruled on yet another abortion case.
Well, when one person, no, they said this clearly. When one person is talking on their allotted time, the other one is muted.
Yeah, but he like said something not into the microphone, but like out loud.
To overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the
Oh, I'm sure we're going to see that again.
However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have
abortion. This is not an easy
pills.
topic to handle.
They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion bill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. And if you look at this whole question that you're asking, complex but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And what I did is I put 3 great Supreme Court justices on the court.
Oh, shit.
Roe v. Wade, and moving it back to the states. This is something
that's what I get for smashing my keyboard.
Wanted. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, getting into other things. But every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are
I'm just endlessly curious about the watching now. 1.2 We've been stable for a few minutes.
Than you would have thought. Kansas, I would say the same thing. Texas is different.
Actually, I have a second browser open. I could actually just
decisions right now.
Look at that.
And right now, the states control it. That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions.
Like Ronald.
I am a person that
believes. Yeah, I have 1,282,000 viewers right now.
Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also. And because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the
funny way to put it. Follow your heart.
Even after birth. After birth. If you look at the former governor of Virginia, he was willing to do this. He said, "We'll put the baby aside." and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby. What happened is we brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that they're all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it.
YT, your voting choice is between alligator 1 and alligator 2. Let's not kid ourselves.
You cannot see a doctor have you and have him decide on what your circumstances
Actually, no, wait. Alligator versus manatee.
The idea that states are able to do this.
Florida, 2024.
We're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who.
So you're just contradicting what you said.
Who just was murdered.
Yeah.
He went to the funeral.
Oh my God.
The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that, but here's the deal: there's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses.
This is not the hill you want to die on, Biden.
It's just ridiculous.
This is not abortion either. He's just drifting off.
Thank you.
They cut him off.
Murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place.
Oh my God, they cut him off.
Considered the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened
that
it
is
up,
incredible.
And these killers are coming into our country.
Oh wow.
And they are raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting. In many
Trump
cases,
is staying on topic. He wandered off.
They cut. In many cases, it's the opposite.
We really need to hammer this. The moderators cut off Biden because he was wandering off. They are running interference for him.
If they knew about this issue, which frankly they didn't, but they would have. Everybody wanted brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get it. Everybody wanted it brought back, and many presidents had tried to get it back. I was the one to do it. And again, this gives it the vote of the people, and that's where they wanted it. Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden.
They have to tell him, like, stay on topic. This is the topic.
This is the same topic. 7 states.
They reminded him we're still on the same topic. Oh my God.
How far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion? Do you support any legal
What the fuck is that look on his face?
A woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I wonder. Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first
I
time
don't
is between
think
the
he's
woman
reading
and
off
the
a
doctor.
teleprompter.
Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians...
I hate that argument.
The politicians
no matter what, whether Roe versus
themselves.
Wade is legal or not, it is still like politicians who choose what rights or not rights to give out.
That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
So that means he can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia.
Oh my
put the baby down,
God.
then we decide what to do with it. So he's
drooling.
As we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen.
On his right side, on Biden's right side of his mouth, he's fucking drooling.
That is simply not true. The Roe v. Wade does not
Oh my God.
that.
Yeah, I can see the glistening now.
His life is in danger. She's going to die. That's the only circumstance.
He's fucking drooling.
But we are not for late-term abortion, period.
Grandpa is dying.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state.
Do you see how
we don't think that's a good thing.
honestly the left side of his face is drooping.
Not the Republicans.
He had to have had a stroke by now.
It's just the picture, like the weird imbalance in his face. Really showing up. Maybe he just like
What's he going to do?
can't get too excited.
If the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected.
Like he has almost like a minor stroke when he does.
Pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board.
I just can't get over the fact he's drooling right now.
Something very, very conservative. Is he going to
Trump did not get to respond
He'll sign it.
like he wanted.
Thank you.
Let's turn now to the issue of immigration and border security. President Biden, a record number of migrants.
I would argue they actually let him interrupt before.
Overwhelming border states.
Yeah,
and
true.
overburdening
The last
cities such as
abortion
New York
one,
and
they actually
Chicago,
let him
and in some
interrupt
cases
without
cause
muting.
real safety and security concerns.
Fair.
Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all
Imagine
of that,
fucking up border security and immigration to such a point that New Yorkers start becoming against immigration. That is
the
impressive.
number of border police there are now.
Well, the border states shipping them up to there actually did help.
Endorsed my position.
That was I can't believe they did that. That is such a fucking own goal to do. Like nobody wants the immigrants. Nobody actually wants them.
Yeah, but it became mask off. It's like, oh, you're about you're about immigrants. Okay, here they are. It's like that African country. It's like, oh, you want to say the elephants? Here you go.
Yeah, here you go. Take them.
People coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol.
Oh God, he's struggling.
Asylum.
He doesn't know what he said either.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. All he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave
Oh God, I'm getting lightheaded from this.
He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons. People that
Dude,
are from
Biden's
mental
team
institutions,
must have
insane asylum.
wanted him to lose or something.
The largest number of terrorists coming
Why
into
did
our
they let
country
them do
right now,
this?
all terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America.
Okay, I've seen this conspiracy theory before. They want him to do really bad because the party still hadn't selected the guys yet. Like this is why this is so weird, because they neither Trump nor Biden has been selected by the parties to actually be the front runners yet. My thing is they want Biden to look this bad so they can put in anyone else.
Yeah, the problem being that Biden and Trump got to be on this because they had like 15 or 30% of the voters willing to vote for them, and nobody else did. And like, who the fuck are they gonna run besides Biden? Kamala Harris? Come on.
Is one who came along and killed 3.
Well, she might be in the running because this guy looks like he's going to fucking drop dead.
And his administration.
It would be hilarious if America gets a woman president for like 1 month or something.
That's the only terrorist that's there. I'm not saying that no terrorist ever got through, but the idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people, that's simply not true. There's no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating, he's lying.
Hell yeah, Operation Wetback
On the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you
How the fuck is that an argument? Like, the fact that they have jobs is a bad thing. It's great that they get deported.
Spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived
yeah, this is not the own you think it is.
How will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world, and it had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying, and also killing.
I'm just waiting for Biden to wander off at this point.
We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California.
He really does seem to like zone out on occasion, because when he's a bit pissed at Trump, he looks at him and listens to him, but then he just like zones out and starts staring off in the distance.
And very stupid policies. People are coming in and
I think he's trying his best to actually pay attention, and he just can't.
Migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime.
This looks so bad.
At a level that we've never seen before.
Like, he couldn't look worse if they tried. Holy shit!
I'm with the air quotes conspiracy theorists. This has to be intentional. They're trying to like nuke Biden. They want to put in someone else, anyone else.
This is elder abuse.
An uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything like. And we have to get a lot of these people out, and we have to get them out fast because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels.
I am so waiting for him just to wander off. Every time he's shuffling, I'm just waiting for him to go off.
He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all.
Yeah, man.
He doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse. I had the highest approval rating for veterans taking care of the VA. He has the worst. He's gotten rid of all.
I mean, he's just letting Trump win. Yes, by virtue of the fact that he looks like he's fucking alive, at least.
By far the highest, and now it's down in less than half because he's done all these great things that we did, and I think he did it just because I approved it, which is crazy. but he has killed so many people at our border by
Thank you,
allowing
President Trump.
all of these people to come in. And
President
it's a
Biden.
very sad day in America.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every
I
single
think he's
thing he
actually
says is a
angry.
lie. Every single one. For example, veterans are a hell of a lot better off since I passed the PACT Act. 1 million of them now have insurance and their families have it.
Agent
Their families have it
Orange.
because what happened, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits, they're all being covered.
Is that
now.
did the veterans not get healthcare for Agent Orange before, or
No, my uncle has Parkinson's because of Agent Orange, and he gets denied treatment.
Burn pits came back with
Oh, okay.
stage 4 glioblastoma. I was recently in
because I was kind of worried that Biden thought that Vietnam ended yesterday or something.
I went to the World War II cemetery.
Some days, man. I think he got, for him it probably has.
He was standing with his
Yeah,
four-star general.
I thought I was going to talk about like how he pulled the troops out of Saigon.
My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a
third-rate
magazine. Failing,
magazine.
like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because
I'm
nobody's
so
taking
glad
better care. I'm
this
so
came
glad
up.
this came up. And he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said,
Oh my God, we're doing the Hunter Biden
was
bit.
Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
Four-star general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it, period. That's number one. And number two, the
God,
idea,
Biden is pissed.
the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line.
He probably hasn't
We've
felt
done
this
more for
alive in like
veterans than any president has in
1967 or something.
American history.
I'm just
And
waiting
we
for
now
for
are
his
their
ticker to
family.
give up.
The only sacred obligation we have
Yeah,
as a
like a
country
fucking
is
vein
to
just
care for our
explodes out of his head or
veterans
something.
and their families.
I'm pretty sure his handlers must be like, no.
That's what the VA is doing now.
You know, we're talking about like the stroke thing, but when you look at
All right, thank you so much.
the left side of his face, he has like wrinkles on his forehead, but only on the one side.
Well, no, I've said before. His left side, he's had to have had a stroke. Like my prime minister had a stroke. Like I know what it looks like.
Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory
Okay, my last
Maybe I
one.
become Two-Face.
and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get that straight. And they like me more than just about any of them. And that's based on every single bit of information. As far as Russia and Ukraine, if we had a real president, the president that knew, that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what happened.
Afghanistan
It was so bad
again,
with
nice.
Afghanistan. It was such a horrible, embarrassing,
It's such
most
a
embarrassing moment in the history
Man,
of
that
our
is an
country.
easy win.
When
Just
Putin
go on about
watched that and he
Afghanistan.
saw the incompetence that he should.
I'm a
he should have
YT.
fired
Biden
those
looks like some
generals
sort
I
of Dark
fired the
Crystal
one that you
horror
mentioned.
monster.
And so
He's a
had no
fucking. He's
love
a
lost.
fucking.
They should have fired those generals. No
Fuck, what are they
general
called? The
got
bird ones.
fired for the most embarrassing.
Oh
moment
yeah,
in the
holy shit!
history
I know
of our
exactly what you
country,
mean.
Afghanistan.
Okay,
where
this is
we
gonna
left
bug me now.
billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost 13 beautiful soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he
Skekis.
said, "You
The
know what?
skekis.
Yeah,
I
the
think we're going to go in and
the
maybe take my." This was his dream. I talked to him about it. His dream. The difference is
That was gonna bug
he
me
never
otherwise.
would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never.
Actually,
invaded.
1.4.
In a million years by
1.4
Hamas.
million.
You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas.
Okay,
They
we
had
officially
no money
have
for
60 more
anything.
minutes.
No money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole
Malarkey.
world is
Oh my
blowing
God.
up under him.
Did this catchphrase?
President Biden?
I've never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. Look, the fact of the matter is that we're in a situation where, let's take the
He
last
said the
point first.
line. He said the line.
Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did nothing about it. Recently, not when he was president.
My brain auto-corrected that to brain damage.
Just having headaches. That's all it is.
That's what the auto text also says.
Number two.
It said brain damage.
Over 100,000 Americans and others out of Afghanistan.
Not only are the hosts against Biden, against Biden at this point, so is the stenographer.
Closed captions, yeah.
This guy told Trump, do whatever you want, and do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. And listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days, remember? Because it's part of the old Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to reestablish, Kyiv. And he, in fact, didn't do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done. And they've lost thousands and thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
President Trump,
I never said that.
For 1 minute, I just want to go back to my original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the territory in Ukraine?
No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion.
You understand me.
He's the greatest salesman ever. I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending, it should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky.
Don't know if that's a good thing to promise.
I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. People being killed so needlessly, so stupidly, and I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled fast before I take office.
President Biden, you have a minute.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed thousands and thousands of people. And he has made one thing clear.
Damn, we're going hard on the Cold War.
Part of the Soviet Empire.
Yes, we are.
Not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then, do you think he'll stop there? Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens?
All right, I'm going to be an old man.
Need to go pee. What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so, if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do. Because if in fact he does what he says and walks away, and by the way, all that money we give Ukraine are from weapons we make here in the United States. We give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies have produced as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why it's...
Israel.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East. In October, Hamas attacked Israel, killing more than 1,000 people and taking hundreds of hostages. Among those held and
5
thought
Americans
to still be alive are
5 dual
Americans.
citizens. That's an important
Israel's
distinction
response
to
has
make.
killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. President Biden, you've put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict, but so far Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use to get Hamas and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
Number one, everyone from the United Nations Security Council straight through to the G7 to the Israelis and Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan I put forward. Which has 3 stages to it. The first stage is trade the hostages for a ceasefire. Second phase is a ceasefire with additional conditions. The third phase is the end of the war.
We're just not returning to status quo antebellum in Israel at this point. Come on.
Hard to get them to accept. In the meantime, what's happened? In Israel, we're finding that the only thing I've denied Israel was 2,000-pound bombs. They don't work very well in populated areas.
You didn't deny Ukraine those cluster bombs?
All the weapons they need and when they need them. And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran when they had a full-blown intercontinental ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed.
We saved Israel.
It stopped. We saved Israel. We are the biggest producer of support for Israel of anyone in the world. And so they're two different things.
Israel fucking hates you now. And Trump knows it.
Allowed to be continued. We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas, greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for what
How about the Houthis?
Weapons among population centers.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together have spent $100 billion or maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them? So you got to put up your money like I did with NATO. I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any. They were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us.
Sorry, Mr. Trump, there is no money in the NATO countries.
You got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask.
I'm just waiting for Trump. And now about our greatest ally.
And Hamas.
Yeah, it almost seems like he's avoiding talking about Israel, strangely enough.
Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like
let them finish the job.
But they don't like him because he's a very
wow.
He's a weak one.
He's become a Palestinian.
I've never heard so much
That's a funny thing to say.
Guy who wants to get out of NATO. You're going to stay in NATO? He's going to pull out of NATO. The idea that we have our strength lies in our alliances as well. It may be a big ocean, but we're ever
No,
able to
dude, you're able to avoid a major war in Europe because no one has a military here anymore.
Putin continue to go into NATO. We have an Article 5 agreement. Attack on one is attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war.
I'm just waiting for someone from Germany to do the major speech from Helsing Ultimate.
And then move on to Poland and other places.
Gentlemen, I love war.
He has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And by the way, I got 50 other nations around the world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South Korea, because they understand.
50 countries on board, including Japan and South Korea. Like, yeah, South Korea that you had to force to sell weapons to Ukraine.
No major war in Europe has ever been able to be contained just to Europe.
President Trump, just to follow
Well,
up,
we have North Korean troops in Ukraine now, so there's that.
Independent Palestinian state in order to achieve peace in the region?
I'd have to see, but before we do that, the problem we
Trump
have
does not want to talk about Israel.
I love it.
Trade deals with the European nations, because if you add them up,
it's like
the same
Israel is not an issue. I'm just waiting for him to say that outright. Israel is not an issue.
And they were no cars, no. They don't want anything that we have, but we're supposed to take their cars, their food, their everything, their agriculture. I changed that. But the big thing I changed is they don't want to pay. And the only reason that he can play games with NATO is because I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. I said, and he's right about this, I said, no, I'm not going to support NATO if you don't pay. They asked me that question. Would you guard us against Russia at a very secret
Trump
meeting
giving us the
28,
scoop. The secret
at
meetings.
that time, nations at that time. And they said, no, if you don't pay, I won't do that. And you know what happened? Billions and billions of dollars came flowing in the next day and the next months. But now we're
Actually,
in the
how
same
many people are watching
position.
Kershey right now?
Everybody's bills.
Let's turn to the issue of democracy. Former President Trump.
1.5K people are watching Kershey right now.
After you rallied your supporters that day, some of them stormed the Capitol to stop.
Meanwhile, Pippa's being smart and playing a video game.
Votes. As
I
president,
hope it's
you
not
swore
fear.
an oath to, quote, preserve, protect, and defend, unquote, the Constitution. What do you say to voters who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th,
some visual novel I don't recognize.
Nobody coming through, very few. On January
Oh my God,
6th,
we're doing the
we were
January
energy
6th now.
independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected
it was gonna
all
come
over
up.
the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States'
I guess he doesn't want to talk about January 6th at all, basically. I mean, that's the smart choice, I suppose.
Including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about.
Well, he's not wanting to talk about Israel either, so I'm sure there's a few dodges he wants to do.
My question was, what do you say to those voters who believe that you violated your constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy, you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker,
Biden
as they say. But she's
used
saying,
a pen
oh,
to
no,
scratch
it's my
the inside of his
responsibility.
ear.
I was responsible
I know.
for this because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down.
Interesting choices.
In writing, by the way, the mayor.
No, he doesn't know what to do with his hands.
DC. They turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it. And I said,
we're creeping up in the halfway point.
National Guard or whatever.
Yeah.
And I offered it to her. And
I'm still curious to see what these mythical 2 commercials are going to actually entail.
The same day, she was, I don't know, you can't be very happy.
It's going to be like the Super Bowl.
Into a liar. She said, I take full
sarcastic $10 on him picking his nose.
6th.
President Biden?
Look, he encouraged those folks to go up on Capitol Hill, number one. I sat in that dining room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours watching, begging, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do something, to call for a stop, to end it. Instead, they talked about these people being patriots and great patrons of America. In fact, he says he'll now
I wonder how big is the whole January 6th thing at this point.
And say
is one giant gay up. Everyone knows at this point.
Yeah, but like how much how much does the average person care about it?
Nothing.
And they said no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He did do a damn thing. And these people
like January 6th is like Trump getting convicted on all that crap and stuff. It's like
it's forgotten already.
It's basically forgotten. And if anything, has improved Trump's end of the thing.
Some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you have done, how you've destroyed the lives of so many people. When they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down many other cities.
January 6th is fucking Pearl Harbor and 9/11 for the Democrats.
Fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city
bring
would have been
up Shaz.
When you look
that's interesting.
They took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard.
That's true. I mean, that's like I guess that's the January 6th equivalent of the Democrats is doing Shaz.
This whole subject is
well, the Democrat equivalent was just the entirety of the Summer of Love.
Well, that too.
Committee, which is basically 2 horrible Republicans that are all gone now out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats. They destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give you a minute.
The only person on the stage is a convicted felon is the man.
And he just nods. Like, yeah, I'm a felon. What are you gonna do about it?
It's simply not true.
Fucking Trump has a street cred.
To stop what was going
it's like his mimicry is perfect in this debate.
Oh, fuck off. Was the stream shitting the bed for you too?
Yeah.
That there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on up in Capitol Hill.
And they're only still setting at 1.5 million.
Turned over desks, turned them over statues.
You think YouTube would be all hands on deck to make sure the stream doesn't fuck up?
Come on.
I was expecting a lot.
The 2 debates we had, first time around, I said, will you denounce the
Wall Street Journal, 77,000 watching. Kershaw, 4.6.
Will you denounce these guys?
Fucking live now on Fox, 87K. USA Today, 278K.
I'm going to give you a minute, President Trump, for a follow-up question I have. After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the Select Committee on January 6th going to jail. Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation.
Of course, has to bring up Hunter Biden. Like, it's hard
when he talks about
for
a convicted
Joe
felon, his
to
son
go
is a
after
convicted
Trump on
felon.
felony convictions when his own son is like
Going to be convicted
smoking
probably
crack.
numerous other times. Should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department.
No one appreciated winning black vote one felony conviction at a time.
But he
I
could
love
be
it.
a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office.
The
Joe could
real
be a convicted
first black
felon with all
president.
of the
Like,
things that he's
go
done.
to bed, Bill
He's done
Clinton.
horrible things.
Go away,
All of the
Obama.
death
We have the
laws at
first black
border,
president.
telling the Ukrainian people that
I don't know, a few more cans of Dayglow, and I can see Trump being full on first nigger president.
pro quo.
Yeah, I mean, premiers and presidents do have a tendency to blackface.
Having to do with the son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, I'm coming right to you, sir. You want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to respond.
The idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one.
I just love how he's still
The
drooling.
idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our history has spoken like that before.
Up until now, he's been kind of drilling on his right side, the right side of his mouth, but now he's kind of doing on the left side now too.
For molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant. I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
Give you a minute, sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star. Number
Terrible
one.
judge,
Number
horrible
two, that
judge.
was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very
I really want to play the epic rap battle video. I really do.
The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political
Biden just making Trump dope as hell. I agree.
Actually bringing up the whole like poll numbers increasing.
He has no idea
Like
what
that's
these cases
funny.
are. But when they found out about these cases, you know what they did? My poll numbers went up, way up. You know that because you're reporting it. And we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken.
Yeah, he does say President Trump without former now again.
Has ever taken.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a while.
That is really interesting.
The public knows it's a scam, and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair and square.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, quote, Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are
I
determined
low-key
to
think
destroy
that the
American
president has already been
democracy.
chosen.
Do you believe that the tens of millions of Americans
It makes one
who are
wonder,
likely to vote for
certainly.
President Trump
It makes one
will be
wonder, doesn't
voting
it?
against American democracy?
The more they know about what he's done, yes, the more they know about what he's done. And there's a lot more coming. He's got a lot of cases down the road coming around. He's got a whole range of issues he has to face. I don't know what the juries will do, but I do know he has a real problem. And so the fact that, could you ever think you heard any president say that I'm going to seek retribution? Do you ever hear any president say
Charlottesville, oh my God.
What got me involved to run in the first place after my son had died, I decided
Swastikas on torches.
I said I wasn't going to run again until I saw what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches, and singing the same anti-Semitic bile they sang.
I just love how
back in
Biden
Germany.
can't go one speech without dragging the corpse of his son out.
And they asked him,
Yeah.
What do you think of those people?
Little
The ones
distasteful.
the one who tried to stop
Yeah,
him,
just a bit.
And the ones he said, I think they're fine people on both sides. What American president would ever say Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas were fine people?
Speaking of anti-Semitics, how about your voter base right now?
I'd like to know what they are. The good things Hitler's done, that's what he said. This guy has no sense of American democracy.
President Trump.
Jake, both of you know that, sir, has been totally wiped out because when you see the sentence, it said 100% exoneration on that, sir. He just keeps it going. He says he ran because of Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville. He ran because it was his last chance. He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have a debate. We're trying to justify his presidency. His presidency, he's without question the worst president, the worst presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate. He made up the Charlottesville story, and you'll see it's debunked all over the place. Every anchor every reasonable anchor has debunked it. And just the other day, it came out where
just for the record, Kershey has 1.7K on Twitch and currently 4.6 on YouTube.
He used that as an excuse to run.
Literal who?
President Biden?
Yeah. It happened. All you have to do is listen to what we said at the time.
Yeah.
And the idea that somehow that's the only reason I ran. I ran because I was worried a guy like this guy could get elected. If he thought...
And meanwhile, I dropped down from like 30 to 16. I see how it is, guys.
Torches, then he didn't deserve to be president.
I love you too.
He didn't deserve to be president at all.
Kiss, kiss.
The idea that he's talking about all this being fabricated, we saw with our own eyes. We saw what happened on January 6th.
Biden keeps talking about like it's not like Trump is denying Charlottesville will happen. He's denying that he say the stuff that he supposedly said about. Like he doesn't even know what it. So stupid.
Refused to endorse him this time. His vice president hasn't endorsed him this time.
YT, Biden is staring off into the distance because he doesn't know where he's at.
Thank you, President Biden. We're going to be right back with more.
Commercial break in progress. We don't get to see the commercials. Okay. Well, at this point, Trump is certainly the winner. I mean,
I still can't get past of how, like, I've seen Biden speeches before. Like, I've been following this here like all the time because I'm a Spurk, I'm Polispurk and stuff. But I have not seen him drool on a speech yet. And this is literally the one big debate. This is the only debate they're going to have. No offense to butts, and he's fucking drooling. I can't get over that.
I think it is when he gets angry. Like he loses a bit of bodily control because he gets angry when he has to debate Trump. Like he gets actually angry. I think he can't like probably you know, there's a lot of debate on whether he can control his bodily functions at the best of times, but he certainly can't control them right now.
Well, Biden's always had anger management issues and stuff. This has been a known thing for decades.
I mean, he's Irish, of course.
He's not real, people. Makes him look crazy as he sputters, rants when he looks off screen like that. Yeah. And the thing is, this is for everyone to see now.
Yeah, and he can't. He just never looks normal. I don't. Like, why don't they have like I don't know, why don't they play Family Guy funnies on a big screen so you can watch that all the time, so at least it looks like you can look in one direction. For fuck's sake, like the difference between the like react cam on Trump and Biden is insane. Like Trump is like reacting properly to things that are said. Biden just like stares off in the distance half the time, not knowing what's going on, scratching his ear with his pen. It's like, dude, he's lost.
Yeah, like Trump, like I said before, Trump is a master of body language and stuff, just like the little smirks, the little side glances and stuff, like he has it nailed.
Yeah. Biden is just like, God knows where he's at. Iraq probably keeps talking about his dead fucking son all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know, you know, we talked about this like right now. But it's so strange that they let Biden get up on stage. This is bad.
The longer it goes on, the more I'm really buying into they want Biden to, like, okay, guys, we gave him a chance. Yeah. He's going to fail. Okay, here's this other guy.
Honestly, I'm starting to believe that as well, almost, because it's like either he has the most. I mean, it's also very possible that his like election team is so overconfident that they're like, yeah, he can do anything. Maybe they buy their own bullshit at this point.
I would argue that there's no one left to buy the bullshit. I think they've actually all given up at this point.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you get the fucking videos, like, as we said before as well, when he has to go, all of a sudden, like, he gets, like, an attack or I don't know what during the whole meeting with the veterans. Like, that is so bad. He's together with another head of state for, like, Yeah, it's France. It is supposedly one of the great powers in the world still. And he can't even talk to the veterans. It's so...
Welcome back to the CNN presidential debate live from
Black
Georgia.
family is the most important thing in America, except the Jews, of course.
Other than the first star wipe, the first one was blue. Every star wipe up until now has been red.
While black unemployment dropped
What are they
to
trying
a
to
record
tell us?
low under your presidency, black
I think
families still
CNN is
earn
really
far
just
less
like,
than white families.
okay, we know where
Mothers
wind's
are still
blowing this
3
time.
times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes, and black Americans are imprisoned at 5 times the rate
Small
of
black
white
businesses,
Americans.
you know,
What do you say to
scams
black
using
voters who are
grant money.
disappointed that you haven't made more progress?
They acknowledge they made a lot of progress, number one.
Please,
Fact of the
please
matter
talk
is
about
more
corn
small
pop.
black businesses that have been started at any time in
I want
history.
him to talk about menthol
Number two,
cigarettes.
the wages of black unemployment is the lowest level it's been in a long, long
No,
time.
nobody loves the
Number
blacks
three,
more than me. I
we
let
find
them keep the menthol cigarettes.
housing for black Americans and dealing with the segregation that exists among these corporations that collude to keep people out
Oh
of their
God, he's
houses.
struggling again.
And in addition to that, we find that the impact on the choice that black families have to make.
Biden admits he's cutting blacks into half. Okay.
Difficult. When we did the first
Pipka and YouTube shit the bed like 10, 15 minutes ago.
Black child care costs. I cut them in half. We got to make sure we provide.
Hey, yeah, I ought to see shit too.
We got to make sure because when you provide those child care protections, you increase economic growth because more people can be in the job market. So there's more to be done, considerably more to be done. But we've done a great deal so far.
Inflation is hurting him badly. Yeah, who created
You
it?
have 49 seconds left.
It's like you two
What do you
shucklefucks.
say to black voters who are disappointed with the progress so far?
I say I don't blame them for being disappointed. Inflation is still hurting them badly. For example, I provided for the idea that any black family...
This is such a bad thing to take up as well, because like people aren't going to be happy about hearing that, like, oh, blacks get free money.
Get started.
Like, people are
Yeah.
tired of grievance shit.
Where all those black families and those black individuals who provided...
It's not as big as voter base as you think it is.
It's fucking 13% and dropping quickly.
And anything having to do with volunteerism. If they paid their bills for 10 years...
Have you ever seen the like studies they do when they ask people around the world like how many blacks they think America has? And everyone thinks it's like 40% or something because you see them so much in TV.
I've seen those.
And he caused the inflation. He's blaming inflation.
Oh, he's just going shotgun ablaze.
He caused the inflation, and it's killing black families and Hispanic families and just about everybody.
Trump was
It's
the
killing
first one of
people.
these
They
guys that
can't
mentioned
buy
Mexicans.
groceries anymore. They can't.
Uh-huh.
They look at the cost of food.
The
where it's
first
doubled,
Hispanic president.
tripled and quadrupled. They can't live. They're not living anymore.
I love my
causes
orange
inflation. I
multiracial
gave them
man.
A country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone. He destroyed it with his Green New Scam and all of the other
Green
bogus
New
money
Scam.
that's being thrown out the window. He caused inflation. As sure as you're sitting there, the fact is...
I mean, yeah, that's a
his
popular
big
thing with
kill
like black people. Like they don't like illegals
is
at
the
this point.
millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the
No,
border. They're
not by
taking black
a long
jobs now.
shot.
And it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic
Yeah,
jobs.
Trump mentions
you haven't
beaners.
seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you. President Biden?
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back. 15% unemployment. He decimated the economy, absolutely decimated the economy. That's why there was no inflation at the time. There were no jobs.
Thousands of millions of
Provided
jobs.
Thousands of millions of jobs for individuals who are in all communities, including minority communities. We made sure.
So
that
thousands of millions, which means
we have
billions.
covered with the
I don't think the math is adding up there, Chief.
$8,000 per person in a family to get written off for health care. But this guy wants to eliminate that. They tried 50 times. He wants to get rid of the ACA again, and they're going to try again if they win. You find ourselves in a position where the idea that we're not doing any. I've put more.
Oh, we love our
put more
cops,
police
our
on the
law
street
enforcement.
than any administration has. He wants to cut the cops. We're providing for. Equity,
I'm sorry, which party was the one about defund the police?
To make it.
Yeah, I wonder, I can't remember, it was so long ago.
He caused it by his tremendous.
Oh, the climate crisis, Jesus Christ.
And the way he handled the pandemic.
This is going to be fun.
Another persistent challenge is the climate crisis. 2023 was the hottest year in recorded history, and communities across
Funny enough, I
the
think you're
country
like
are confronted
2 seconds
with
ahead of me.
devastating effects of extreme heat,
Yeah.
intensifying wildfires, stronger hurricanes, and rising sea levels. Former President Trump, you've vowed to end your
Oh, she called him former.
climate initiatives, but will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
Trump's like, I want to talk about the police instead.
Police, how close the police are to him. Almost every police group in the nation from every state is supporting Donald J. Trump. Almost every police group.
Oh, the super predators. Hell yeah.
Population is horrible, including the fact that for 10 years he called them super predators.
Damn,
in
dude.
the 1990s. We can't forget that. Super predators was his name.
Yo might actually
And he called
remember
them
that
to
reference
and they've
because
taken
he was
great
still
offense at
lucid
it,
in the
and now they
90s.
see it happening. But when they see what I did for criminal justice reform and for the historically black colleges and universities, where I funded them and got them all
I just
funded,
love how Biden
and
keeps
the
licking his
opportunity
lips
zones
to
with-
slurp up
with
the drool.
Tim, as you know, Tim Scott was incredible. He did a great job. Great senator from
Oh, they
South
cut
Carolina.
away when he started like,
He did.
He did.
Either scratching his up or maybe like removing drool.
Ever in the country, opportunity zones, and the biggest beneficiary are blacks, and that's
Dude,
why
I was going into
we
this and
have
like,
the best
I'm gonna
numbers
try
for
to be
that
neutral, but holy
maybe
shit.
Ever. They're saying ever. I read this morning where ever the
Like
best numbers.
purely looks
He's
wise,
lost
this is like fucking
much
him
of the
over
black
so bad.
population because he's done a horrible
Can't
job
go up on
for
stage
black
looking like
people.
this and
He's
doing
also
this
done
shit.
a horrible job for Hispanics. But wait till you see these millions of people pouring into our country, and they're going to take the jobs, and it's already
Now he's
started,
president,
and you
not
haven't
former.
seen anything yet. It's a disaster.
You 38 seconds left. President Trump, will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
So I want absolutely immaculate clean water.
We had
and I
H2O.
want absolutely clean air. and
What
we
do you
had
mean
it.
by that?
We had H2O. We had the best numbers ever, and we were using all forms of energy, all forms, everything. And yet, during my 4 years, I had the best environmental numbers ever. And my top environmental people gave me that statistic just before I walked on
Well,
the stage,
clearly
actually.
Trump is a supporter of dihydrogen
I don't know where the
monoxide.
hell he's been.
Yeah.
The idea that anything he said is true. I've passed the
It is important after all.
most extensive climate change
Smart
legislation
to
in
not
history.
talk about
In
like
history.
too much climate stuff from Trump's side because
Black colleges.
if he says like, oh, I'm going to do this and this for the environment, like
HBCUs, historic black
not
universities,
what his voter base wants to hear.
They
It's
don't
better to just
have-
go like, yeah, we want
they don't
clean
have
air,
the
want
kind
clean
of
water,
contributors that
and not
they
be
have.
very specific.
Buildings, laboratories, and the like. Any black student is capable in college of doing any white student can do.
Oh my God, he's doing
They
this
just
off
have to learn
bigotry
how
of
to be
low
workers,
expectations again.
jobs in high tech.
He's just
Yeah, he's
incapable.
talking
A situation where the idea
And he starts talking about blacks
he was
again.
claiming to have done something that had the cleanest water, he hadn't done a damn thing for the environment. He pulled out of the Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord. I immediately joined it because if we reach 1.5 degrees
The existential
Celsius,
threat to
and at
man.
one point where there's no way back. The only existential threat to humanity is climate change, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. He wants to undo all that I've done.
He's an essential threat at this point. Is the stairs.
And China nothing, and Russia nothing,
China.
and India nothing. It was a ripoff of the United States. And I ended it
I mean,
because I didn't want to waste that money.
It's true. It's like it's pointless to join these fucking accords when we have China and India. It's like there's no point to doing it.
But everything that he said just now, I'll give you an example. I heard.
That's one of the reasons why I retired my news reading stream, because that was like one of my frequently come across points.
What he's doing is destroying all of our medical programs because the migrants coming in, they want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage. I guarantee you that. And I want to take care of people. But we're destroying our country. They're taking over our schools, our hospitals, and they're going to be taking over Social Security. He is destroying Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
The idea is that we, in fact, we were the only ones of consequence who were not members of the Paris Accord. How can we do anything we've not able to, the United States can't
no
get us
scratch.
under control? One of the largest polluters in the world, number one. We're making significant progress. By 2035, we will have cut pollution in half.
As I've expected him to suck his thumb.
Significant progress, and we're continuing to make progress. We set up a climate corps for thousands of young people will learn how to deal with climate. Just like
Climate core is my new metal fusion.
We're moving in directions that are going to significantly change the elements of cause of pollution. But the idea that he claims that he has the biggest heart up here and he's really concerned about pollution.
I'm sure he does have the biggest heart, but that's from all the Big Macs he eats.
Any indication of that? And by the way, with regard to
hey dude, we know that Super Size Me was fake.
Agreed that they would reduce the price to $35, which I was calling for. One.
Yeah, so so's Trump's complexion. Wait, what's your point?
Cannot have to pay. And by the way,
every day millions of Americans struggle just to make ends meet. For many older Americans, Social Security provides a critical.
I love how they're consistently cutting off Biden. It's great.
If nothing is done to Social Security, seniors will see their benefits cut in just over 10 years. Will you name tonight one specific step that you're willing to take?
Interesting that it's going hard on like the tax the rich stuff.
The very wealthy began to pay their fair share. Right now, everybody making under $170,000 pays 6% of their income, of their paycheck, every single time they get a paycheck from the time of the first one they get when they're 18 years old. The idea that they're going to, I'm proposing that everybody, they pay.
Like, dude, he's stumbling bad.
1%. So no one I would not raise the cost of Social Security for anybody under $400,000. After that, I began to make the wealthy begin to pay their fair share by increasing from.
Yep, I'm going to die on this hill. The Democrats are politically assassinating Biden.
So you still have 82 seconds left. Are there any other measures that you think that would be able to help keep Social Security solvent, or is that one enough?
Well, no, that one enough will keep it solvent. But the biggest thing I'll do if we defeat this man,
honestly,
because he wants
fuck
to
Social Security.
He thinks there's plenty to cut in Social Security. He's wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare, both times. And that's what. And if you look at the program put forward by the House Republican Caucus that I believe supports.
Yeah, of course you want to protect the seniors. You're fucking 80 years plus.
We need to protect our seniors. Is ridiculous.
Fucking Tutankhamun remembers you.
By the way, the American public has greater health care coverage today than ever before.
Now, be nice. It was clearly Ramsey's.
You're in a circumstance where 400,000 people, 40 million people would not have insurance.
Yeah, had his first sex scandal with Nefertiti.
Only thing that allows them to have that insurance is the fact that they...
He was around long enough to sniff Cleopatra's hair.
And by the way, the other thing is, we're in a situation where we talk about education.
The Egyptians did perfume their hair, so it probably did smell good. Can almost excuse it.
The amount of money for Pell Grants.
And I was talking about the blacks again.
Making under $70,000 a year are going to be able to get $15,000 towards their tuition. He just doesn't know what he's talking about.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
So I've dealt with politicians all my life. I've been on this side of the equation for the last 8 years. I've never seen anybody lie like this guy. He lies.
Black guys, Biden and the blacks. Oh my God.
So many other things too. And we mentioned the laptop. We mentioned Russia, Ukraine. Everything he does is a lie. It's misinformation and disinformation.
The blacks.
I gotta see my Twitter feed right now.
Story that he made up.
I just want to see what's trending on my end.
It's a disgrace. But Social Security, he's destroying it because millions of people are pouring into our country.
Biden, Mr. Trump, Sleepy Joe, resign. Holy shit.
Medicare, Medicaid. They're putting him in our hospitals.
Biden, Hamas, Russia are the three top ones.
What they're doing to the VA, to our veterans, is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are living in luxury hotels. He doesn't know what he's doing, and it's really coming back. I've never seen such anger in our country before.
President Biden?
The idea that veterans are not being taken care of, I told you before. And by the way, when I said suckers and losers, he said he acknowledged
25th Amendment.
Holy fuck.
The general got fired because he's the one that acknowledged that that's what he said. He was the one standing with Trump when he said it, number one. Number two, the idea that we're going to be in a situation where all these millions and millions, the way he talks about it, illegal aliens are coming into
the country. Oh, that's great. Defend illegal immigration.
There's a reason why
that's a popular position.
Growing economy in the world. The reason why we had the most successful economy in the world. we're doing better than any other nation in the world. And by the way, those 15 Nobel laureates he talked about being phony.
Likely to have a recession.
Economists, they all said that if Trump is reelected,
it's already a recession.
And inflation is going to increasingly go up.
It's only a recession. It's only a recession when they say it is.
Yeah, and fucking look, inflation is going to go up under Trump. Yeah, probably. Is it going to go up if Biden gets a second term? Yes.
Which many American families struggle to afford. President Trump, both you and President Biden have tried to address this issue. But the average cost of
Trump is holding his powers.
has risen to more than $11,000 a year per child. For many families, the cost of child care for 2 children is more than their rent. In your second term, what would you do to make child care more affordable?
Just to go back, the general got
oh my God, he's still doing it.
Good. And if he said that, that's why he made it up. But we have 19 people that said I didn't say it, and they're very highly respected, much more so than him. The other thing is, he doesn't fire people.
Time for another ear scratch.
He never fired people. I've never seen him fire anybody. I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI, drained the swamp. They were no good.
I inherited these people.
You'd pay a price for it, but they were no good. I inherited these people. I didn't put him there. I didn't put Comey there. He was no good. I fired him. This guy hasn't fired anybody. He never fires. He should have fired every military man that was involved with that Afghan
horror show was not as popular as Rocky Horror,
the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
Cabiano, I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos and I paused it for this stuff, and that's why I have all tabs
the
open.
worst border in the history of the world. Did anybody get
I'm
fired
on a YouTube
for allowing
binge.
18 million people, many from prisons, many from mental institutions? Did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed?
It's a good summarization. We waste a lot of time on this debate. Yeah, I agree.
Waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He is the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed our country. Now all of a sudden he's trying to get a little tough on the border. He came out with a nothing deal, and it reduced a little bit, like this much. It's insignificant. He wants open borders.
That's actually quite a statement to say straight up, he's importing voters.
And I don't think we just can't let it happen. If he wins this election, our country doesn't have a chance.
Some actual strong statements
of coming out of this rut. We probably won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is. He is the worst in history by far.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden?
We're the most admired country in the world. We're the United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity. We have the finest military in the history of the world, the finest in the history of the world.
Thank you, YT. Thank you, YT.
No one wants to screw around with us. Nobody. Number one. Number two, the idea
that 103K posts.
Worst presidents. I wasn't joking.
I'm just angry it's not 1488K.
Or 58, don't hold me the exact number. Presidential historians, they've had meetings and they voted who's the worst president in American history. One through best to worst. They said he was the worst in all of American history. That's a fact. That's not conjecture. He can argue they're wrong, but that's what they voted. The idea that he is doing anything to deal with child care, he did virtually nothing to child care. We should significantly increase the child care tax credit. We should significantly increase the availability of women.
All child care things that will do nothing.
Parents to be able to go back to work. And we should encourage businesses to have.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, the question was about what would you do to make child care more affordable.
I just love how they're constantly interrupting Biden. It's fucking hilarious.
Polling, we have other things that they rate him the worst because what he's done is so bad. And they rate me, I'll show you, I will show you. And they rate me one of the best, okay? And if I'm given another 4 years, I will be the best. I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever
stretch, 15 minutes.
Like us. He's the only one I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise everybody's taxes by 4 times. He wants the Trump tax cuts to expire. So everybody, including the two of you, are going to pay 4 to 5 times. Nobody ever heard of this before. All my life, I'd grow up and I'd see politicians talking about cutting taxes. When we cut taxes, as I said, we did more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money back into our country. The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
President Biden?
Look, the fact of the matter is that he's dead wrong about, he's increased the tariff, he will increase taxes on middle-class people. I said I'd never raise a tax on anybody making less than $400,000. I did.
Taxes. I meant taxes.
Everything coming in the country. You know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American.
What's the T word for money?
$2,500 a year more, because they're going to have
what
to
is he
pay the
raising now again?
in food and all the things that we're importing. Number two, he's in a situation where he talks about how he has not raised. He's somehow helped the middle class. Middle class have been devastated by you. Now you want a new tax cut of $5 trillion over the next 10 years, which is going to fundamentally bankrupt the country. You have the largest deficit of any president in American history, number one. Number two, you have not
until you came along
made any contact, any progress with
And
China.
now it's opium.
We are the lowest trade deficit with China since 2010.
Thank you, President Biden.
You lost
Thank you, President Biden.
Oh my God, they are just endlessly interrupting him. It's fucking amazing. I figured that was going to be Trump.
The opioid crisis.
Yeah.
And for both of you, the number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made, more than 100,000 Americans are dying from overdoses every year, primarily from fentanyl and other opioids. What will you do to help Americans right now
He's a
in the throes of
Manchurian
addiction
candidate.
who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
To finish up, we now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy.
It's a bit weird
We
of
have the
Biden to
largest
go like,
deficit with
oh no,
China.
tariffs. He
He
just
gets paid by
increased,
China. He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money from China.
you know,
We have
tariffs for goods from China by like 100% just last month.
Tariffs because we made so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come, but he hasn't done that. But he hasn't cut the tariffs because he can't, because it's too much money. But he's got the largest deficit in the history of our country, and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country. They are killing us as a country, Joe, and you can't let that happen. You're destroying our country.
Okay, now we're getting to
President Trump, you
opioids.
have 67 seconds left. The question was, what are you going to do to help Americans in the throes of addiction right now who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
Jake, we were doing very well at addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5, almost 3 years of like nobody's ever had before, any country, in every way. And then we had
the
get tough,
COVID.
and it was the drugs pouring across the border were it started to increase. We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog that's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it. We did a lot, and we were getting very low numbers, very, very low numbers. Then he came along. The numbers, have you seen the numbers now? It's not only the 18 million people that I believe is even low because they got
It's good going back to the border.
But the
He knows that that's like
the amount of
an
drug
easy
and
win.
human trafficking in women coming across our border, the worst thing I've ever seen, at numbers that nobody's ever seen under him. Because
Well,
the
to be
border's so
fair, the
bad.
fentanyl issue is actually a border
number
issue.
of drugs coming across our border now is the largest we've ever had by far.
President Trump, thank you. President Biden?
Fentanyl and the byproducts of fentanyl went down for a while. And I wanted to make sure we use the machinery that can detect fentanyl, these big machines that roll over.
Actually, the certain dog is his wife.
And it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together, this bipartisan deal. More fentanyl machines, more be able to detect drugs, more numbers of agents, more numbers of all the people at the border. And when we had that deal done, he called his Republican colleagues, said, "Don't do it. It's going to hurt me politically." No, he never argued it's not a good bill. It's a really good bill. We need those machines. We need those machines. And we're coming down very hard in every country in Asia in terms of precursors for fentanyl. And Mexico is working with us to make sure they don't have the technology to be able to put it together. That's what we have to do. We need those machines.
But how is it transported
President
in?
Biden, President Trump, and again, the question is about.
We're doing Mexico again
Americans in
now.
the throes
You
of
might be a
addiction
little bit
right now,
behind me.
struggling to get the treatment they need.
Well, because this does pertain to it. He ended Remain in Mexico. He ended catch and release.
Yeah, I think you're still like 4 or 5 seconds out of me.
Catch and release here. We had so many things that we had done, hard negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing. It's just like when you have a hostage. We always pay $6 billion for a hostage. Every time we say it's a hostage. Now we have a hostage, a Wall Street Journal reporter. I think, a good guy. And he's over there because Putin is laughing at this guy, probably asking for billions of dollars for the reporter.
What reporter
I
is he
will
talking
have
about?
him out very quickly. As soon as I take
Oh, I
office.
think it's the
Before I take
one that got
office,
his
I
arm
said,
blown off.
by literally, as soon as I win the election, I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out a long time ago. But Putin's probably asking for billions and millions of dollars because this guy pays it every time.
Oh, he's been,
In 2 cases, we paid
he's been arrested for
$6 million
espionage.
5 people. I got 58 people out, and I paid essentially nothing.
Thank you, President Trump.
Oh,
Let's turn to concerns that voters
actually
have
addressing his
about
fucking
the interview.
age.
President Biden, you would be 86 at the end of your second term. How do you address concerns about your capability to
I'm 80
handle
years
the toughest
young.
job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less.
He's not even addressing his age.
Just look at the record. Look at what I've done. Look how I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 15 million new jobs.
As Biden addresses it, he dodges it.
More investment in America.
Yeah, I mean, this debate shows that clearly a dude hasn't gotten one more presidency in him.
The whole idea of computer chips, we used to have 40% of the market.
I think it's another month of them.
Invented those chips, and we lost it because he was sending people to find the cheapest jobs overseas and then bring home.
Oh, the microchip fads.
I went to South Korea. I convinced Samsung to invest billions of dollars here in the United States, and they're, guess what? Those fabs they call.
But they're not creating significant jobs. They can't fill the positions that they're supposed to have.
You don't need a college degree for them, and there's billions. About $40 billion already being invested and being built right now in the United States, creating significant jobs for Americans from all over the world.
President Biden, you have 40 seconds left. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would. The idea that somehow we are this failing country.
The most progressive country in the world. Wow.
We're the envy of the world. Name me a single.
We keep our word. Everybody trusts us. Yeah, dude. Sure.
All our problems.
I'm just amused at this little no-name VTuber I follow from Odyssey. Streaming is watching this here in
country in
two.
the world who keeps our word, and everybody
I
trusts
feel bad.
us, all of our allies, and our those who he cuddles up to, from Kim Jong-un, who he sends love letters to, and Putin, etc. They don't want to screw around with us.
Thank you.
Oh, the drug test and the cognitive test.
At the
Hell
end
yeah.
of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him
We
take one,
knock
just
on
one.
wood wherever we may
Go
have
through
wood.
the first 5 questions. You
That
couldn't
is
do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood. That I'm in
Oh
very
my
good health.
God.
I just won 2 club
Dissing
championships, not
Biden's
even
golfing
senior, 2
abilities.
regular club
Damn, it's
championships. To do
personal
that,
now.
You have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter.
I think Biden's happy
as good a
because
shape as I
he's going to get
was,
his ice cream soon.
Years ago, I feel very good. I feel the same.
Will it be 2
But
scoops?
I was willing to take a cognitive test, and you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced him. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House doctor, and then I took another one, a similar one, and one of them said they'd never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President
Yeah,
Biden?
my screen cap is half covering the Kershaw thing on the YouTube, but I got that there.
Well, you said 6'4",
4.62.
Well, anyway, that's what anyway, just take a look at what he says he is. And take a look at
Abandoned
what he
thought.
is.
Oh my God.
Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him.
Oh my
I got
God.
my handicap, which when I was
Actually challenging Trump to like a
down
golf
to 6.
duel.
And by the way, I told you
Amazing.
you play golf if you carry on
Amazing.
Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie that he's a 6 handicap of all.
I was at 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I had, you know how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay,
Let's
let's
not act like children.
President
Joe.
Trump, before
Let's not act like children.
You
to
are
a
a child.
specific concern that voters have about you. Will you pledge tonight that once all legal challenges have
What
been
the fuck was
exhausted,
that?
you will accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins, and you will say right now that political violence in any form is unacceptable?
Well, I shouldn't have to say
You mean
that,
the
but of
golf
course I
dueling?
believe
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah.
totally unacceptable.
Yeah, that was
And if you would see my statements that I
very
made on Twitter
strange.
at the time, and also my statement that I made in the Rose Garden,
Would
you
be
would say
kind
it's
of
one of the
metal to actually
strongest
have like a
statements you've
golf
ever
off,
seen.
though.
In addition to the speech I made in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to, and I will tell you, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to
Oh,
the
America's
Capitol,
fucked the
and
next
in
4
many
years,
cases were
regardless.
ushered in by the
Yeah,
police.
this is
And as
the
Nancy
debate of how
Pelosi
entertaining
said,
it's going to be.
It was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear.
What a
But
weird
the
thing to
answer
pick a
is,
fight about. Fucking
if the
golf.
election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody. And I'll tell you something. I wish he was a great president, because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be at one of my many places enjoying myself. I wouldn't be under indictment because I wouldn't have been his political opponent, because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here.
slogan
The
drop,
only reason
slogan
I'm here
drop.
is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're
Yeah!
going to make America great again. We're a failing nation right now. We're
He
a
held it to the
seriously
end.
failing nation. And we're
That's
a failing
smart.
nation because of him. His policies are so bad. His military policies are insane. They're insane. These are wars that will never end with him. He will drive us into World War III, and we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
You want a World War III, let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5.
I'm going to be
Attack
ending
on
this
one
here
is attack
debate with
on
a
all,
hard on.
and required response.
Stop
The
promising me a
idea-
good time.
The idea. I can't think of a single major leader in the world who wouldn't trade places with the job I've done and what they've done. Because we are a powerful nation. We have wonderful people. It's because of the people, not me. It's because of the American people. They're capable of anything, and they step up when they're needed. And right now, we're needed. We're needed to protect the world because our own safety is at stake. And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens in Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up, the question was, will you accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
Just to finish what he said, if I might, Russia, they took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it. He's not going to play games with me. He knew that.
Very
I got
human
along with him
indeed.
very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me. But now he's going to take the whole thing from this man right here. That's a war that should have never started. It would have never started ever with me. And he's going to take Ukraine. And, you know, you asked me a question before, would you do this with? He's got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia. Because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, I will never settle until
I
such
did not
time."
think he would
They're running
address
out of
like
people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost
Ukraine,
so many people. It's
this.
so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and
he won't
stupid
respond
decisions.
to if
Russia
he will
would have
accept the
never
election or
attacked
not.
if I were
President Trump,
president.
the question was, will you accept the results of the election, regardless of who wins? Yes or no, please.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous. And if you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But I will absolutely, there's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again, no indictments, No political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's driven up my numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
Well, let's see what your numbers are when this election is over. Let's see. You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, you continued.
Biden's throwing a tizzy fit.
All across the country. Not one
You're a
single
whiner.
court in
Yeah.
America said any of your claims had any merit, state or local, none. But you continue to provoke this lie about somehow there's all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There is no evidence of that at all.
Time
And
for
I tell you what,
advertisements.
I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such a whiner. The idea, if you lose again, you accepting anything, you can't stand the loss. Something snapped in you when you lost.
Yeah. Like what do I have left to discuss at this
With
point?
more from the CNN presidential debate, live from Georgia.
Well, the total debates, they said the total debates at 90 minutes, so minus these commercials, they got like, what, 10, 15 minutes left?
Yeah, like what's gonna be the finisher? Because we have like Trump did not really actually answer yes or no on like whether or not he would accept the results, but I can't really blame him for that.
Yeah, it is a stickling point.
Yeah, I mean, he can't like say like yeah I'll accept whatever result, because then that's like giving a carte blanche to mess things up. So
still
I
sitting
did
at
not think Trump will
1.5.
go like Ukraine is going to lose eventually. I did not think he was going to say that.
Well, even Biden was throwing Ukraine under the bus during that same segment too. He was just like, he was like, all this here doesn't matter, but if they get to Poland or any of those other ones, then one's on.
That is surprising. That it's kind of like, if you let Russia take it all, it's like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? You haven't done anything up until now.
The only solution, Pippa, the president of the United States. Actually, Pippa being the president of the United States, her campaign promise is like, I'm going to make anime girls real because I want them.
That is compelling. That is very compelling.
Pippa just wants to genetically engineer the mythical blonde Chinese woman.
I'm not looking forward to compulsory warrior cats education though.
And fursuit dance Fridays.
Do not want to think about that.
Yeah, if you want to make anime real, you have to settle for fursuit Fridays.
Will she ban dentistry?
Actually, I would argue she would probably subsidize the entirety of the dental industry.
That's true. Post meth mouth, maybe she enjoys dentistry at this point.
Well, no, I mean, she would just want a free ride to get her mouth fixed.
Yeah, it's not fixed yet.
Yeah. She just went. She went in for a partial bridge. Like she has like fake, like she hasn't actually had the work done. She has like cheap fake teeth covering them up until the work gets done.
It's bad.
Yeah. She went in for temporaries. That's the reason why she had the dentist appointment the other day. She went in for temporaries.
Don't think you're allowed to do that here. I think you actually have to fix it. You're not just allowed to cover it up. Like, you wouldn't be able to get a dentist to do that shit.
Yeah, I think it's just a little more loosey-goosey in America.
Fucking YT's posted like a screenshot of like my grandpa listening to me explain Evangelion lore.
Ooh, 3 stars this time.
It is now time for the candidates to deliver their closing statements
In
as
2 minutes.
determined by a coin toss. We're going to begin with you, President Biden. You have 2 minutes.
We've made significant progress from the debacle that was left by President Trump in his last term. find ourselves in a situation where, number one, we have to make sure that we have a fair tax system. I ask anyone out there in the audience or anyone out watching this debate, do you think the tax system is fair? The fact is that I said nobody even making under $400,000 had a single penny increase in their taxes and will not. And if I'm reelected, that'll be the case again. But this guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit, number one. He's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after the way he handled the pandemic.
Tariffs are not taxes. It's not the same thing.
Where he now wants to tax you more by putting a 10% tariff on everything that comes into the United States of America.
But he needs to make it scary.
What I did, when, for example, he wants to get away with, get rid of.
What the fuck is he trying to say? The ability of Medicare, the ability.
For us to be able to negotiate drug prices with a big pharma company.
I think the Adderall is wearing off.
We got it.
The embalming fluid is running out.
$35 for insulin instead of $400. No more than
behind the set, they're sacrificing children to Moloch.
No matter what they.
His phylactery is weakening. It needs souls.
That reduced the federal debt by $160 billion over 10 years because the government doesn't have to pay the exorbitant price.
I heard fentanyl debt as opposed to federal debt.
All along, it's happening now.
Am I having a stroke?
Everybody in America, he wants to get rid of that. I'm going to make sure that we have
everybody's stroking out.
Significantly increase the credits people have for childcare. I'm going to make sure we do something about what we're doing on lead pipes and all the things that are.
Continue to fight to bring down inflation.
We're going to continue.
Fuck's sake, you've done nothing but increase it.
Thank you, President Biden.
I just want to know where lead pipes fit into that equation.
Like so many politicians, this man is just a complainer. He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do, all he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in. Our military doesn't respect him. We look like fools in Afghanistan.
Israel, of course. Beautiful Israel.
Was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine should have never happened. He talks about all this stuff, but he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have the Palestinians, and we have everybody else
100 times Charlottesville.
You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. What we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations that gave jobs, but he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like. Even from a medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible. Choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves, and they're living. And that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA. So all of these things, we're in a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden. Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate. Anderson Cooper and Aaron Burnett starts now on CNN.
Oh, I don't care what Anderson Cooper has to say.
I love that they went, stay with us, President Biden. Sounds like she addressed him directly.
I'm sure he would have wandered off.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a dude.
Man, he still looks so confused. Okay, I don't care.
He's still standing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trump just walks off.
Yep.
Biden can't fucking move.
Yeah. Well,
board.
Well, yeah, like they immediately cut to the transition as soon as Trump starts walking off. It's fucking hilarious.
Look at him. He can barely step down.
What feed are you looking at? They already cut away to the thingy for me.
But they're showing him walking down to the hosts now.
With me here, CNN political
Okay. I see.
Kate Bedingfield, David Urban,
I got baited with that transition.
Abby Phillip, and David Axelrod, and CNN
Damn,
Chief National
he's so
Correspondent
fucking
John
stiff.
King.
Like,
John,
he has
let
to
me start
lean
with
on
you
his
and your
wife to
thoughts.
even be able to walk
Anderson,
down.
This was a
Three
game-changing debate
10
in the sense that
centimeter
right now,
stairs.
as we speak, there is a deep,
Okay,
wide, and a very
they
aggressive
finally
panic in the
transitioned over to the
Democratic Party.
studio.
It started minutes into the debate, and it continues right now. It involves.
Should have never
Yeah, guess what? They're gonna say Biden won. Wild
CNN
guess.
Chief National Correspondent John King. John, let me start.
I'm gonna stand by my statement of I don't give a shit what CNN thinks.
Yeah.
The only thing I care about is what we think. And that was certainly something.
Did CNN think that this would make Biden look good?
With it finally concluded, I'm still going to stand on the fact I think this is a political assassination by the Democrats.
I kind of think that CNN thought that this was going to look good. Biden's team, or like the Democrats, like election committee or whatever they have in general, might have like sent him to the shopping block. But I think CNN, just because they did the whole like, oh, maybe we're going to quiet things down, maybe we're going to mute, maybe like they were really defensive about it, makes me think that they thought that this is what's going to be like, if not a slam dunk, that Biden was definitely going to look better than this, because holy cow, dude, like he is dead. Like this is worse than when he had to run off in the middle of the veterans and like every other gaffe is done. Like, dude can barely move. His face is so fucked up. Like, holy shit, dude. Drooling on himself.
Well, I'm just thinking it's like it, like maybe, like I'm not an optimist. I'm a misanthrope through and through. But I have trouble struggling. Like there can't be anyone still buying into even their own bullshit at this point. There can't be. They can't be that disconnected.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Biden didn't even address the health concerns. When they had the whole, like, oh, what do you think that, how can you ensure us that you're going to be able to serve as president in your 80s? And he completely, he did not talk anything about his health. He just went like, oh, I created this many jobs. Oh, I went to South Korea. Said nothing about it. And then tried to attack Trump on health. Like the fucking Lich King of the USA tries to attack Trump on health. Like, look, Trump probably isn't the most healthiest man in the world, but like at his age, he probably is at least of average health. Like Biden, who gave Biden a talking point that he could attack Trump on his health? Like a dead man walking can't attack anyone on his health. Fuck's sake, it's ridiculous to watch.
I'm really wondering. It's like this has to be the only debate. Like, given how the debate panned out and stuff, they're not going to allow another one.
Unless
they can't be that retarded.
Yeah, unless like, is there any news network that is pro-Trump, like one that could actually get Biden to come on? Is any of the big ones?
No, they're all against Trump, even Fox.
Yeah, because the only reason there would be another debate is either like the Biden's team goes like, holy shit, we have to like rig a debate completely to save face at this point, or if there was a Trump supporting like news network, they would 100% like go, oh, holy shit, we have to get Biden on. Like, we have to have debates every week with Trump and Biden, because holy shit, we're winning if we let them be on stage together at the same time. And plus, if you had Biden come out for debates like one day each week for a month, he would probably die.
Well, yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Like, there's no way Biden would have the stamina to actually do that schedule. There's no way.
I wonder if they're like seclude him completely.
Well, they secluded him for a week before this one.
Yeah. And they did during COVID a lot. Like, he just disappeared. Like into the fucking Führer bunker or whatever they have under the Oval Office.
Well, fucking Biden got, honestly, if Biden got COVID, he would be fucking dead.
Yeah, he would be mega dead. But like, I really wonder what they're going to do with Biden at this point. Like, can you have him hold a speech anywhere at this point? Like, I'm not entirely sure.
No, they're. I still say they're put. I still say this is what is intentional, and they want to make him look bad to just. They want, but I swear to God, the Democrats right now want to make Biden look bad to justify whoever they put up next.
The thing is, like,
that's the only thing that makes sense.
It does, yeah. I think that's the problem. It makes too much sense. I think that makes it impossible. That's too sensible of a take for it to be possible.
Yeah, I think we're working on Red Letter Media Star Wars rules. So what would be the opinion of Rich Evans in this situation? Because there's probably what's going to happen.
I genuinely think they've bought their own bullshit with Biden, because they spent 4 years like, oh no, he's spry. Oh, he's so spry. Oh, he's so spry and fresh-faced. Oh, look at how active he is. Oh, he's so strong. Oh, he's only 80 years old. Like, holy shit. Like, he looks worse every time he appears. And this might have been probably one of the worst appearances in a presidential debate ever. Like, we had it the first, and as we talked about before, the Kennedy and Nixon one is very famous because it was the first televised one. But like, in the history of televised presidential debates, and well, nowadays live streaming presidential debates, I don't know if anyone's ever looked this bad. This is horrible.
Yeah,
he stutters over his world. He drools. He can't move properly. He keeps scratching himself. Like, holy cow.
I'm just waiting to see a news cycle tomorrow and stuff, because this here debate's going to get memed to shit, especially with like like the staring, the drooling, the nose and ear scratching.
Yeah, how do you run cover for Biden in this debate? What take can you make even?
Honestly, it's just like, okay, you all saw how Biden is. Here's this other person we're going to just drag out from the middle of nowhere, because I know they're not going to run Harris. Because
yeah,
dude, they still, like, both parties up until, like, from the get-go, this was a weird presidential debate because neither party have selected their running person yet.
Yeah.
This is like the spoiler of spoilers. Like, this is who they plan to run.
I wonder if someone is going to try to pull water for Biden, are they going to go like Trump bullied him in the debate? Like, are they gonna pull the oh poor Biden? Because I don't know any other way to like get. I'm confused by this debate, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't know what I thought.
I'm there with you. I had to kind of play it out in my head going into it and stuff, and then it just went completely off the rails.
Because, dude, I've been playing Elden Ring all week. I've been killing like fucking skeletons that look more alive than fucking Biden at this point. Like, holy damn. I knew, like, yeah, I've seen all this stuff. Like, yeah, obviously he's in ill health, but what the fuck were they doing, parading him around? He's a mummy at this point.
Yeah.
No one. How could? Like,
yeah, I know. The more you think about it, the more confusing it just gets.
Yeah, I mean, the fucked up part is like, I mean, like, Trump did pretty well. Like, he did avoid some stuff, but, of course, you don't want to address everything. If you don't have a good response that will be popular, you don't want to respond to it. That's perfectly fine. So, but he did do well in debate, and like, he was he didn't get like really angry or anything. Like he kept his calm, but Biden was fucking furious at points, and he did so poorly. Like he stuttered his words. In the start, he started coughing all the time. Like he hadn't even. What was that shit? He stopped coughing after the first commercial break. Like, did he get his fucking inhaler or something?
Yeah, because like the instant Biden started losing his temper and stuff, like his blood pressure, like he must have been on like all the goofballs. So like the instant he got angry and stuff, like his blood pressure was just going off, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, because he was at first you could barely hear him. You know, I almost wonder if like did they fuck up his microphone volume or something? But no, he was just his voice was so hoarse at the start. He sounded like a smoker.
Yeah, because I remember watching his last speech before like this debate and stuff, and he sounded okay for Biden. He sounded okay for Biden, but this here sounded like he was fucking dying.
Yeah, this is it really was a strange thing to watch, and I am surprised that it's arranged by CNN because this does not make their candidate look good at all.
Yeah, like he had all the chances, he had everything going for him, and he still fucking died.
I mean, just the mere fact that, you know, they did the whole, oh, we're gonna mute, blah, blah, blah. Clearly as like, we don't want Trump to talk over Biden. And they had to mute Biden. Like even CNN had to admit to themselves that like, we have to shut off his mic. Like he does not know what he's talking about. Like we have to tell him like, your time is up. You cannot talk. This is not the topic we're on. Like everyone thought was the one getting cut off.
Yeah, everyone thought that was going to be Trump, but no, it ended up being Biden.
Yeah, I am so surprised by this.
I'm pretty sure CNN planned that was going to be Trump. It's like,
yeah, I mean, we were both like fucking 100% convinced of that because that's the logical thing to assume.
But then out of left field, it was fucking Biden.
Yeah, holy shit. What was the... do you remember the last time? And they were like, yeah, here comes a Joe Pedo.
Oh, God, yeah.
Probably the worst marketing campaign in history.
Well,
we got hit by Joe Pedo.
Well, I'm just thinking of a couple of segments there and stuff. Not only were they cutting him off and stuff, like the fucking camera, the instant he was looking like he was going to go really bad, like they actually cut the Trump and get the focus off of Biden and stuff. They did that quite a few times too.
They did cut off some of his weird scratching.
Yeah,
which I kind of wonder what that was like. People talked about like if there was if you could hear like earpiece feedback or something, because he did scratch his one ear, so there might have been like an earpiece thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Good night, Whitey. Yeah, I'm kind of Rusty. It's like the most passionate they got was over fucking golf.
Yeah,
that whole segment was wild.
Yeah, I guess Biden actually got angry because he did. I guess he tried to score an own in the most boomer way possible by fighting over golf, but like, can that man, Joseph Biden, cannot drive a golf ball at this point? Like, how the fuck is that guy going to bend anything in his body? Like, he's going to crumble into fucking dust.
Well, it's just so fucking funny that honestly, that was probably the thing that got him angry the most.
What a thing to bring up. Fucking golf out of nowhere. And like telling Trump, like, oh, can Trump carry his own bag? Can you, dude? You can't carry your own fucking body at this point. Your fucking wife has to take you down the smallest stairs in the universe after the debate is over. Yeah. I don't understand the tactics that he used. Sometimes I wonder if, it's always speculate like, oh, Biden is like a complete puppet. Like, he doesn't even know where he is. I'm starting to wonder, like, is the opposite true? Is Joe Biden like a physically very ill man, but like an extremely stubborn man who like micromanages everything? Like, was this entirely Biden's idea? Did he go like, oh, this is malarkey. I'm not sick at all. I can do any debate in the world. Let me on. I won't let you stop me. Like, is he extremely willful?
No,
mentally?
like I have actually had to deal with a couple of family members with dementia and stuff, and yeah, that actually is a thing. That is a thing with mental degradation.
Yeah, because you become childish, basically. You become egocentric again.
Yeah, it's effectively regression and denial of that regression. It's like a 2-for-1 kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, and everyone who like loses physical capacity in some way due to injury or age, like people often try to compensate for it in ridiculous ways. Is this Biden's like compensation, or maybe the way he tries to convince himself that he is in fact all there? Like I kind of wonder if is it Biden starting to doubt himself? Like, holy shit, clearly things are bad. I have to prove to myself and everyone else that I can still rule.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. I think there's a cognitive dissonance where he realizes it, but he's like, no, I still got this. But it's not registering that he doesn't.
Because I did think about this fact that he started talking about like, I was the youngest, second youngest man elected to Congress. And he has always been like in the wings. Like ever since he got elected as a senator first time, he's always been there in the background, like never really reaching the presidency. But always there in the shadows. Like, is this like an old man's like last grasp at the throne? He's been waiting in the wings for over 40 years, and like now he has his chance, and he's not gonna let go of anything.
Yeah, I think he's in his mind, hell for high water. He's got this, but the Democrats are like no, and like Breaking 911 is agreeing with us in this here. It's like Democrats in panic mode. They want Biden out of the race. After watching this horror show tonight, they know if he runs, Trump wins in the landslide. And this is true. Like, we're all thinking this.
I have a hard time still thinking that Democrats would do that. I still think they might have fallen for their own bait. I think they might have hoisted themselves by their own petard.
I'm gonna quadruple down on this. This was a political assassination by Democrats, and they're going to be like, honestly, I think the Democrats are going to be the ones to invoke article or whatever 25. You know, the incompetency one. I think they're going to actually they're going to bring out the long knives on Biden and stuff, and like, okay, you're done. It's like, no offense, but you're done.
That's if they do. That's something you can never return from. Like everyone is living with like the sword of Damocles hanging over them after that. Like it's gonna be difficult to get candidates at all when you know that the party, that the Politburo might remove you if they find you too uncomfortable. Like that's gonna be a bad thing for the Democrat Party. I think.
Yeah, like leading report.
Do I think this? Do I believe this, or do I kind of hope that they're not that incompetent? Like, I don't know. I sort of think that they wouldn't do that. That they have like enough political savvy to not destroy the entire party's credibility.
I think they're willing to burn it all down. I really do think they're willing to burn it all down. Yeah, like leading report. CNN's panicking immediately after presidential debate and says Democrats are now figuring out how to replace Biden before the election. Even CNN, apparently, even CNN is saying this. I think the decision has been made. I really do. I think the decision has been made. They're getting rid of Biden.
That is mental, if it's true.
I think
maybe
no, and I think this here debate was literally just to save face, saying, "Look, it's like after all the time of saying deny his incompetency, but then it's like, all right, he's done, and then they put it up on the silver platter, like right here on the screen in 4K. It's like, look, this guy's gone, so you can't say that we didn't try. And when they get rid of him,
we talked about like America starting to look like the Soviet Union.
Yep.
if this is true, like this is very much like the party thinking that they are important, that they are invincible. Like they had so little resistance, like only, and it's only these last 4 years. But I can kind of see that they would do something like this if they thought that they were genuinely invincible.
Well, not even just that. I think it literally is the end of the Soviet Union in terms of like Gorbachev. And I think it's a Gorbachev situation where it's like he thinks he's doing good because all his yes men fed him the bullshit, and it's just like the disconnect of he didn't get like the feedback of reality. I think this is probably the case.
It might just be completely like lost the plot. Like I don't know. This was strange to watch.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing I've seen in a while.
I'm kind of reeling from it, I suppose. What an experience. That was a lot more fun than I thought it would be.
It was weird. That's all I can say. It was just weird. And I just love how my Twitter feed is just updating. It's like debate embarrassing Donald the idea.
Embarrassing.
And that's trending in Canada. Trending in Canada, embarrassing.
Yeah, I simply do not believe that anyone in their heart of heart believed Biden won that. You are lying to yourself.
Yeah,
if you say that.
I'm with end wokeness. If you're still voting for Biden after what we all saw tonight, you're in a cult, to put it lightly.
Joe Biden is literally malfunctioning. Yeah, you can just see him like,
Yeah, no talent ass clown. It was like watching someone beat up a retard. That's insulting to retards at this point. The clown world. The clown world fucking spot on. Biden and fucking Burns. Oh, shit. Man.
I really hope there's another debate.
There's probably going to be another debate, but it's going to be Trump versus whoever the Democrats put in place of Biden, because there ain't no way. After that, there ain't no way. Ain't no way. But then again, I'm thinking rationally.
Yeah, I mean, remember when they thought that Hillary Clinton could win? Wasn't that hilarious?
Well, okay, that's the peak disconnect of 2016 will always be funny because they allowed Trump to run as a Democrat, as a Republican, because it's like, oh, it's going to be an easy win versus fucking Trump. And then, that happened.
What the fuck is Joe Biden's marketing team doing? He's selling water. Zero malarkey water. Dark Brandon's secret sauce.
I don't know, man. My retribution is going to be success. I love that line.
Yeah, it was kind of actually a good line.
Yeah, it's like, are you going to go against your opponents? Yes, I'm going to go against my opponents by succeeding and pissing you all off. Politics trending, resign. Oh my God. I saw that for a second.
I see people speculating over the earpiece because there's, him doing the thing with his ear. I wonder if he had an earpiece, was that what caused him to look out in the air? Because he hears a voice and he can't put a face to it, so Grandpa gets confused.
Oh my God, I think that might actually been it.
Because that would explain a lot, because it is strange to hear a voice and not connect a face to it. So he's looking out. He's searching for the voice in the room.
Oh God, this here tweet. When the earpiece says it's almost time to get ice cream.
Doesn't he have a very a very lich-like appearance at this point.
Well, there was a couple of yeah, like that grin and a couple of other grins and stuff is just like, oh god, is the programming breaking? Is like, oh my god.
Like he's about to send his henchmen on He-Man in that photo.
Hey, He-Man. Hey.
Yeah, Trump.
Oh god, I'm just waiting for someone to make a He-Man meme of Trump now. There has to be one somewhere. The face when you poop on your pants on stage. Oh god, we're not even 30 minutes out and the fucking memes are starting.
Yeah. This I found.
Oh my god, that was a fucking Drudge Report. Operation replace Biden, them scramble with 130 days to go. And debate catastrophe. Fucking Drudge Report was all in on the Democrats right now, and this is fucking him saying it. Holy shit.
Yeah. I found one I thought was kind of funny.
Oh god. Okay, I got this. They have Biden's goal for tonight written in the lower corner. Live.
Objective. Survive.
Marauder Shields died for our sins.
Oh, poor fucking Marauder Shields.
Oh god. Trump. On January 6th, we had a great border. On January 6th, we had energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes and regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. Oof.
Biden is on stage staring into the afterlife. Yeah, that's the. His marketing team is like posting quotes from the debate as well.
Who's Trump's or Biden's?
Biden's, because they like he did a Donald Trump is a convicted felon with the morals of an alley cat.
Yeah, I saw a couple posts of that earlier. But here's the thing with the Biden's marketing team is just I think his social media team has bought into it.
Yeah, 100%, because they're doing like, oh, dark Brandon, oh, laser eyes memes. Like they do think that he's cool probably at this point.
Yeah, I mean, again, someone had to sign off on that. Someone in Biden's party had to sign off on the skibbity toilet on Colbert. Like someone had to sign off on that.
So is it like? Is that true? Like you have to have like permission from the candidates, or like what?
No, not in a legal sense. I mean in the cabal sense.
I mean, I do think that like it was made as a mockery of like the Hillary Clinton classic Pokemon Go to the polls.
Yeah.
Trying to be hip with the kids, but. I don't know. It was though. If you ever seen it, right? The Skibbity Biden one.
Yeah.
Like it was so weird as well when they did like, Trump is using Hitler's words or whatever the fuck. Like that was a very like seething thing. Like clearly that wasn't a joke. Clearly they did think that it was a fucking bizarre thing to see. So maybe you're right in that respect. Maybe it was like. Maybe it was like someone on Biden's marketing team had some wherewithal and was like, let's make Colbert do this and not us, because I think this might go wrong. So let's sacrifice Colbert. Like he's willing to take one for the team, right? He's a good Democrat.
I'm just chuckling over and wokeness. The next debate needs to take place on the golf course. Period. Yes.
I genuinely want to see Biden try to golf. Because that man cannot bend down to fucking golf to save his life.
No.
Like he
can't
like,
I can carry my golf bag. It's like, no, you can't.
Yeah, no way. Like guy is like stiff as a board. Like if he moves too much, he's gonna fall over. And that's not like just me like saying like, oh, he's unhealthy. Like, no, I think he genuinely might fall over if he moves too much. What the fuck was this?
It was something, and I somewhat. Okay, I'll outright say this. I'm scared about what's going to come next. If this was like the opening salvo of this presidential cycle, this was the opening salvo. What the fuck is next?
Yeah, dude, they better fucking reload and use the heavier guns, because, I mean, even CNN is like, in their like after commentary, in their like summary, they're going like, oh, we have a problem. Like that is the breaking news sources, them saying, we have a problem after Biden's performance tonight. Like, yeah, dude, you have a problem. It's named Joe Biden.
Yeah. I like this here. Biden spent a full week preparing, is on a network that campaigns for him, got 2 moderators to support him, juiced on who knows what, and this is the best they got. Terrifying. Yes. Very much yes.
Yeah. Like, yeah, people are ragging on when like Biden started flubbing his lines. And Trump goes, I don't know what he said. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Yeah. Man, that was fucking savage. Holy shit. Bro just got a software update and can now smile. Oof. Oof.
They need to patch that smile, though.
Nah, the Democrats need to run another campaign fund to afford the particular DLC.
They need to tighten up the graphics on level 5.
Yeah, they don't have enough in-store credits on the Bethesda. Yeah, they need to pay off Todd Howard to get that update.
You remember the Biden Skyrim video, right?
Yep. I remember.
Because that was fucking amazing. Like, he did respond and move exactly like a Skyrim NPC. It's such a fucking perfect video. Hello. Well, at least President Biden opened the White House last night to thousands of Americans from all across the country to honor the extraordinary courage and contributions of the LGBTQI plus community. Is I intersex?
What's even the U?
LGBTQI plus. What is the I? Is it intersex? Yeah.
I'm still hung up on the U.
I think I'm saying Q weirdly.
Okay. All right. No, that makes sense. Okay. I saw a couple of posts about this here, and I just want to point out this one here. The Border Patrol Union released a statement. To be clear, we never have and never will endorse Biden.
Oh,
oof.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, because the last 4 years, the Border Patrol have had their hands tied behind their back because of Biden. So
it was like when?
That's not a startling revelation that they've never endorsed them.
Yeah, and probably the military as well, because there was that leak where he was like the diversity and inclusion officer for the U.S. military. Like openly was like, yeah, I actually want a Republican in office because we actually get funding then. Like, that's bad.
Yeah, no,
when even the DEI officers turn on you.
Yeah, no, I do remember that one there. That was bad.
Yeah. Is this true? Biden claims his son died in Iraq. His son died of cancer years after finishing his service. Is that true?
No. Here's the thing. He's done that more than once. He said that Bo has died in war multiple times, even though he died from cancer. Anytime,
is he doing like a thing where he like, oh, he got the cancer due to being in Iraq, and thus he says he died in Iraq?
No, he always conflates it as dying in the combat in Iraq. He's always conflated that.
Was he told that by someone? Does he believe his own son died in Iraq? Is he like? Does he not know that he died of cancer at this point?
Yeah, no, Jessica Cannon. He died in a war with cancer.
Oh, damn, dude.
His son died in many, many different situations, including January 6th. Holy shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Don't do that to me. That's, oh, Jesus Christ.
That does lend credence to the Biden is a vampire theory. If, you know, his son hasn't been staked through the heart yet, he might still live.
Truth be told, his son probably died so that so Biden could live a little longer.
I had to absorb his life force. I see.
Yeah. Someone did the meme. Holy shit. Someone did the current objective survive.
Yeah, survive. Oh, holy shit. That's great. That's great.
Oh, God. I'm posting that one. Oh, shit.
To survive. Yeah, holy fuck, dude.
Hey, Stamio. Current objective survive. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of posts about that border and totally like, yep, we definitely didn't endorse them. Don't look at us.
Fucking Russell Brand is admitting that Joe Biden lost.
To be fair, Russell Brand's kind of wishy-washy on a lot of stuff, depending when he's smoking that day.
He is also like an actual communist, so, you know, he probably doesn't enjoy Biden too much either.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably looks at the current American political apparatus as just like, it's like they're authoritarian, but not my kind.
It is still kind of interesting whenever like any kind of celebrity does not endorse the Democratic candidate at this point. It stands out so badly.
Yeah, and truth be told, most like whatever remaining right wing actors and celebrities, whatnot and stuff, they tend to play mostly smart and just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like who do they have? Like Clint Eastwood, if he's not too busy talking to shares live on stage or whatever he does.
Actually, my favorite one who's openly right is James Woods.
Oh yeah, James Woods.
Yeah, James Woods is openly right, and he doesn't give a fuck. He starts the shit ton of Twitter fights. I actually do follow him because some of the slap fights is fucking hilarious, and he does not give a fuck.
Yeah, everyone is working around the clock to do all the sick quotes. I mean, Trump got some really good ones in, because I see the one here, like Biden goes, "We finally beat Medicaid," and Trump goes, "He did beat Medicaid, he beat it to death."
Man, that was savage.
I was a little surprised that they actually kind of swore to each other. It went like, "Oh, that's bullshit. Oh, hell no." Like, I'm kind of surprised that they would do that. I remember Biden grew up in Puerto Rico, Haitian, Cuban, Jewish, Protestant, North Korean, Indian, Italian,
Pomeranian, and many other communities. Oh, fuck me. Don't do that, man. Jesus Christ, that's fucking hilarious.
He does have an anecdote when he's fought with each one of those ethnicities, at least.
Actually, the joke with that there is all those ethnicities was Trudeau.
Oh yeah, he's dude. He's a fucking shapeshifter. He is every race. I loved when all the fucking photos of his costumes came out, and they did these like fucking RPG classes, like General, Yogi.
No, my favorite thing when the Trudeau blackface stuff and all that there. Every press, every like CBC and all of them did it in black and white just to downplay it. Like they had to publish those pictures in black and white just to downplay it. It was shameless. It was shameless.
That works well with the blackface.
Yeah, Yeah, it's like, yeah, good job hiding that there. Yeah, it totally works. Sex with a porn star. There goes the bottle.
So I was just making fun of it. It's going, moderator, what are your views on the economy? Joe Biden. Nose starts bleeding. Donald Trump. We're gonna finally kill the Grinch. Mark my words. We're gonna use the big guns. It's gonna be something, folks.
I'm just kind of curious to see the Jim comments tomorrow, because the last couple of things the Jim was posting, apparently Boogie's acting up again, but I don't give a shit.
Is he shooting his gun in the air in a school zone again?
No, I think Boogie's falling for another crypto scam. I think that's why he's in the news again.
Christ. You know, you have to be a bit behind the bus if you're falling for crypto scams in 2024.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's Boogie. He's a little slow.
Yeah, both movement and mentally at this point.
Yeah. Oh, fucking breaking 911, Black Twitter exploding against Biden. Rip this nigga Biden. Bro, this nigga Biden's finna fold. Oh my god, what? I can't do Ebonics. This nigga Biden's so fucking old, man. Yo, this nigga Biden. This nigga Biden.
This nigga Biden.
I'm kind of curious to see Black Twitter for Trump be like, my nigga, as opposed to that nigga.
Question is, will they vote at all?
Yeah, that's a strong one. Joe Biden having the guy Joe down the stairs at the end, perfect capper to his performance, absolute disaster. No way to spend it. Okay, yeah, I missed this here because they did the transition and I turned off the video. Okay, yeah, she was actually helping him down to the thing. Oh,
look at him.
Oh, okay, that was bad.
They should have shown a bit more, because when he's at the desk with the presenters, he is leaning on the desk. He isn't standing up by himself. He had his arms on the table and everything. Like that might have been like he's giving them a stern talking to, whatever. But it also might be like, dude can't stand up otherwise.
Yeah. Okay, the Spectator Index. Apparently in the CNN follow up right now, CNN reports that some leading Democrats are thinking Biden's performance was dismal, and some of the conversations include: should we go to the White House and ask the president to step aside? See?
Oh, yeah. USA Today has fact-checked Joe Biden on his claim that no American troops died anywhere in the world during his presidency.
Yeah, that was kind of a stretch. It's like, man, come on.
Yeah, I mean, like, we know that a few soldiers died in Afghanistan. I think 13. It was about a dozen of soldiers that died during their retreat from Afghanistan. And, like, I mean, soldiers die also from like accidents and stuff on bases all the time.
Yeah. Like, even just like,
it's an absurd claim to make. It's like, no fireman died during my term. No construction worker died during my term. You can't even. It's an idiotic thing to even entertain.
I would expect hyperbole of that their nature from Trump. It's like Biden doing that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, and he truly, like, the fucking Afghanistan fumble is so bad whenever they talk about defense. Like, what the fuck is he supposed to do against that? Like, he did try to cope a bit in the beginning, like, we have no soldiers engaged abroad. Like, yeah, because you pulled out of Afghanistan, the fucking Taliban took over in like barely a day. One of the biggest military fuck-ups in US history. It was Vietnam again, which is fucking amazing. Exact same shit happened once again.
Oh,
incredible.
No. NBC suggests that Biden lost the debate because we didn't know he had a cold. I'm sorry, what?
Cold medicine, maybe. Maybe Biden is on the fucking lean.
Well, at least someone's talking about he wasn't doing good there, Chief. At least someone's talking about it.
Yeah, to say the fucking least, he wasn't doing good. Certainly.
Democratic Party official on Biden's performance. Nothing good. Oof.
Nothing good.
Oof.
Yeah. That is a good way to put it. Nothing good.
I'm almost tempted to tune in. Nah, I can't stand CNN, but I can only imagine this level of damage control of like, oh fuck.
Oh my god, they're having like a.
Anyways,
they're having Jill Biden do like a hype thing after the debate. Joe is just standing there, not even talking. Like she has to speak for him.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Is she a lot younger than him?
'73. Yeah, actually, yeah. Quite a few years younger than him.
Because she's not young, but she clearly doesn't look 81. So it's like, okay.
Well, she's again, she's almost a decade younger than him.
Yeah.
Oh goddamn. Okay, I just want to see what this Clown World post is.
Move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence.
Oh yeah, I don't know what he says.
Look, we have to move until we get the.
Oh yeah, he does. It's like he doesn't even know what he says. Okay, yeah, that was a kill shot.
Yeah. I don't think it does either.
Who? Okay, I like this one. I like this poll. Who will replace Biden after a Dem machine forces him out? Michelle, Hillary, Gavin, or Camilla?
Ooh.
I want to say Gavin. There ain't no way they're running any of the women. There ain't no way. And everyone else agrees.
Unless they want to lose.
Yeah, like honestly, like of everyone who's in the wings right now for the Democratic Party, there ain't no way they're running like Michelle. There ain't no way they're running Hillary. There ain't no way they're running Camilla. It's like Newsom is the only one.
Imagine pulling fucking Hillary Clinton out to be a candidate. Like that would be. If they would do that, then obviously they've all gone completely insane.
Well, to be fair, they have, so...
Yes, but again.
Yeah,
after that fucking horrid failure.
This is fair.
And like, Michelle Obama, like, they're not gonna vote for a black woman. Like, no one is gonna do that.
Oh my god. Okay, I like not to be. Since Kennedy, there has not been a more unanimous presidential debate winner. More precisely, there has never been a more unanimous presidential debate loser. That is a very important distinction.
Yeah, I mean, we did the comparisons. What we were first, we were before Babylon Bee. Because
well, I just find it kind of funny that we're all kind of on the same page with our jokes and kind of our observations and stuff. Like we're all completely off left field for our predictions going in, but as the information came in, we kind of figured it.
Yeah, fucking John King on CNN. He's doing the whole like Democrats are pulling a public intervention thing now. That is
Van Jones. That was painful. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I'm seeing quite a few tweets commenting of the CNN after show of how they're like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah. Just wow. Just wow.
Man, what's even more left to say at this point?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm very surprised. Especially like we were so like down on it when it started. We were like, oh, only 30,000 people are watching. Nobody's dropping in. Oh, it's just like the fucking the summer game fest. Oh, fucking 30 minutes intro, and then like Biden goes on and just does blunder after blunder after blunder after blunder, and he's sickly and he's coughing and he can't talk.
If I'm being honest, for me, it was the instant he opened his mouth and he sounded like he was at death's door. It's like, again, I saw the last speech like a week ago when he did his last speech before he went into hiding in Camp David and stuff. Like, he sounded okay.
Normal,
this one here is just like, fuck, man.
Yeah, you just hear him start talking, and it's like so muffled, it's so raspy, and he starts coughing and stuff. And it's like, I mean, you joked at the beginning, like, oh, is he gonna die during debate? I mean, dude, it was genuinely a possibility, especially when he got heated. Like, I would not have been surprised if like fucking blood vessel just bursts in his head.
Yeah. Man. Oh, it's not actually my newsfeed. How dare you? How dare you? CNN is freaking out over Biden's performance. They're already hinting at him being replaced. Yeah, that like I had a feeling this was, yeah, like even CNN saying at this point, I feel this was a political hit piece by a Democratic Party. Like, this was planned. There was no way there's no way in good conscience they could have allowed this to happen unless it was intentional. Like, that's me wanting to believe that there's at least one Machiavelli out there who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What's worse, that they like send them out to get killed, or that they're so up their own ass that they thought he would do well? Like, what is the worst, really? Like, I honestly don't know. I don't know which one is worse.
I can't figure it out either. Like, yeah, like which is worse? It's like they both suck, and it's just like, man, I still, part of me can go either way, but I'm putting my money on this was deliberate. That's where I'm sticking my money on.
Yeah, because if it is incompetence, like they actually thought this would be good, that would be interesting, because that means that the Democrats are in the same position as the Republicans post George Bush the younger, when they're just completely doing like blunder after blunder after blunder, candidate that nobody cares about. Like, if they reach the same like incompetency level, like they need a Trump equivalent to shake things up, to show that things can be done a different way. Like, are the Democrats going to be the beautiful losers now?
No, they're not. But like, for example, this here Chuck Todd thing. Biden looks like the caricature the conservative media has been painting. You saw it before your eyes.
Yeah, they do seem to be turning the knives on him, which is very interesting.
Dude. Okay, here's my thing. I believe that the longer this goes on, I do believe the knives were already out by the Democrats. However, I think the realization of the knives being out is only trickling to the media now. Like, from that was the announcement that Biden has done. Like, they didn't get like CNN didn't get the memo.
Yeah. I wonder if like everyone is scrambling, if like the Democrat, quote unquote, news media is like scrambling at this point, like, holy shit, we have to stab him. Like, they have to do the fucking Caesar thing. Like, everyone has to stab him. You have to prove that you're loyal to the conspiracy by taking out your knife. Like, no one gets away with not stabbing. Everyone has to give him a stab.
It really is the fall of the Soviet Union, isn't it? I think we hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, may we live in interesting times, I suppose.
I feel the need to remind the audience that is actually a curse.
Yeah.
The original interpretation of the original intent of that saying is the curse.
Yeah, it's like, I hope there's a big civil war and get fucking killed. idiot. It's not a good thing.
Well, to be fair, that saying did come out of China, and given how often they have civil wars, that there's actually on point.
Yeah, I hope you get cannibalized in the next civil war. Like, oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like love you too, neighbor.
Sarka posted like a quote from someone there. I'm crying, man. It's so over. They let that man call us the blacks on national television.
Yeah. No, like he is incapable of, like, he always slips up in the soft bigotry of low expectations. He's always like, them blacks. It's like it's like the simple folk. It's like it's like they are a credit to their kind. It's always like, seriously, it's just like he just can't help himself. Like
he's keeping back from calling them the coloreds, isn't he?
Man, I'm sure they must have brainwashed him. It's like, okay, Joe, we don't call them that anymore.
Because that's like, before you call them coloreds, you call them Negroes. So like he's holding back like 2 slurs.
Not slut is black pilled. Anyone want to marry a burger? I'm trying to get out of here. You dig me? God bless you, Sloot. NBC suggests that Biden lost the debate because we didn't know he had a cold. Yeah, I saw one. It'll be in 2 million Biden. You didn't know he had a cold. Yeah, that's pretty much the intent.
As if that. My man was on enough fucking medicine to keep an entire hospital running for a month to even be there. Like the cold is the least of his problems if he had one.
There was enough drugs in the system to kill a horse.
Yeah. Remember, he has a hard time differentiating people of color and colored people.
Actually, a part of me does feel kind of bad for Biden in the acceleration and velocity change, like the change, the language change, like the euphemism treadmill and stuff is way too fast for Biden.
Yeah, I mean, dude is 80. Of course he can't keep up, man. Even if he wasn't, having clear psychological or like mental issues, dude is like struggling. The blacks. It is a really funny thing because it's just offensive. Like it's just that it's offensive, but it's so fun to call them the black. And Trump did rag on him for the whole super predators thing because that's a very infamous thing.
Oh, God damn it, Pipkin. From the top turnbuckle with the steel chair comes Pipkin. If only you knew how bad things really are.
Yeah, I've retweeted that one.
Shit.
If only you knew how bad things really are. It's not looking good. It's over for Biden cells.
Oh, that's what that post was. Okay, I didn't fully read that one there. Apparently, Jim's streaming on Saturday. Okay, I totally misread that post the first time.
Is it
Yeah, so he's gonna be doing a stream on Boogie.
Oh, okay. So it's a person stream on Boogie. Okay.
Well, okay, that's gonna be a refreshing Jim stream because it's gonna be a lol cow focused stream. It's been a while since he done one of those.
Yeah, because last time it was Dad special due to Father's Day.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a Boogie stream. I don't know much about Boogie, to be honest, because I never watched the whole Francis. That was him, right? I never watched that stuff. So he's completely unknown to me.
Okay, this is my elevator sales pitch for Boogie. Boogie is a emotional vampire. He is all about the, oh, woe is me, pity me, give me money, pity me, give me money. That's his whole shtick. And he tried his damnedest for the longest time to be literally, and I quote, the Mr. Rogers of the internet. And the wildest thing is that people bought into it. But here's the rub and why it failed. Boogie has no impulse control.
Yeah, you can see his waistline shows that quite clearly. Yes.
Yes, there was that. Did you ever watch that documentary that came out on him not too long ago? Jim really promoted it and stuff. I forget what channel it is.
Yeah, I did watch some of it.
It was actually really good. It didn't cover all the little beats and stuff, but that documentary did a really good job in showing the way Boogie operates, in that he's a literal piece of shit.
Yeah, and the whole he's like living together with a prostitute that is 20 years his younger, and very strange.
Yep. Yeah, so having a Jim stream on Boogie, that's actually going to be entertaining. Actually, that's going to be a really good palate cleanser for tonight. From tonight.
Yeah, because I only knew Boogie from I knew that Francis character existed, but I never watched him, and I didn't know about him until that one hanger on to Sam Hyde went to his house and Boogie starts fucking shooting up in the air.
Yeah,
fucking school song.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest, my two favorite lolcows that I've followed for years is, funny enough, two fat guys, Boogie and Movie Bob. Those are my two favorite lolcows. I've been following them
I kind of
forever.
thought of Boogie as boring Movie Bob, because Movie Bob is an actual, funny, crazy person.
Well, Movie Bob's entertaining because he's strong, he's a communist, so he's very strong in his convictions and stuff. But he's fucking retarded.
Yeah, and dude, his fucking strange ass food takes, his autistic book about Mario, his constant calls for genocide, such a funny dude.
Yeah, whereas Boogie, Boogie is just a straight up piece of shit. Boogie's not even entertaining piece of shit. He's just a piece of shit.
Yeah, sure. I'm kind of looking forward to the Jim stream for that, actually, so I can learn about Boogie a bit more.
Yeah, because it looks like Jim's doing roughly a retrospective on Boogie, and it's actually going to be very entertaining. But it largely like this little elevator pitch that Jim has, it really does boil down to scamming, crying victim, and being a reprehensible fuckwit. There's no other way of saying it.
Yeah, from the part I watched of the documentary, he was very, very self-pitying. It kind of reminded me of
oh, fuck off, just again. Fuck off.
It kind of reminded me of a BPD woman, the way he would self-pity over things that he caused.
Man. I'm still broadsided from that fucking debate. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have PTSD for the rest of the week, because that was not what I expected.
Yeah, I went in knowing nothing, essentially.
It's we went in knowing nothing and we come out knowing less.
Came out confused.
Biden used confusion. It's super effective.
Yeah, dude. Everyone is confused. It worked. It worked way too well.
All right, I'm closing Twitter. It's winding down there. I'm closing Twitter.
Yeah. Wow.
I got nothing left in me. I'm just processing.
Yeah, man.
Actually, my highlight of the evening is just realizing Jim's going to do a stream on Saturday. I'm happy for that. that just immediately picked me up. Yeah, like dazed and confused from the presidential debate, but then it's like, oh, Jim's going to do a stream. Okay. I can just imagine Jim's opinion on I imagine like the first super chat he gets is going to be like, so what was your opinion on the presidential debate? And it's like, I feel stupider for watching it. I imagine that's probably going to be the case.
He might comment on it during like the super chat reading segment, I suppose. Because yeah, he's going to get a lot of questions.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, even on death's door, Jim is a little political spurg.
On a completely unrelated note, just learned that Bible Black was on fucking UMD video for the PSP.
Oh god, I forgot that was a format.
That was one hell of a tweet to see in the middle of everything. It's just like, statistically speaking, there's someone out there who owns Bible Black on PSP and nothing else. That took me completely out of it, just seeing that in the middle of the timeline.
It has a listing on VG Collect. So yeah, it does exist.
Who the fuck watches Bible Black on their PSP? Like, what are they from the fucking subway in Japan? Like some fucking salary man watching fucking Bible Black.
My question is, what other listings are there?
What a fucking mental case.
Yeah, I'm noticing a couple of softcore. Yeah, I'm noticing. Okay, it's suddenly spiked. I'm seeing like softcore porn releases. Oh god, that's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down. Yeah, Rusty on the Jim thing is like, or hopefully I'll already be dead and won't have to deal with it. Actually, that's a not 0% chance.
Yeah, if Trump pulls in Medicaid, then yeah, Medicaid is gonna die. God, he's gonna vote for Biden.
No, what will finally seal Jim's fate is that Trump will tweet about Gamergate, and thus the prophecy shall be fulfilled, and Jim will have served his purpose and slough his mortal coil.
I don't want to live in a timeline where fucking Sargon wins.
I don't care about winning. I just want to see him lose.
He would be. God damn it! I don't want Gamergate.
Did that thought just break you?
I don't enjoy the thought of fucking King of Paul streaming from a fucking dumpster or something at this point. Talking about space Jews again.
Oh god. 2016, 2020, 2024. Gamergate is just a gift that keeps on giving. If that timeline comes true, a spectral scale nuclear warfare next day. That's what I mean. Like, the prophecy has been fulfilled, and thus the end times. You're really dejected over this.
Yeah, I don't want Gamergate again.
It never ended.
Like, dude, can you imagine how bad it's gonna be this time when like social media is so much more prolific? It's not. Oh, God damn, it's gonna be nothing but Gamergate for like years. Never go. Oh god damn it, they're gonna go to the UN again.
Anita Sarkeesian will be plot relevant once more.
Yeah, when she managed to fight her way out of irrelevancy with the saddest photos in the world with that fake wedding.
The fake wedding birthday party.
The only time I almost felt sympathy for Anita Sarkeesian.
I remember covering it at the time. You know, Rusty, the Journals already tried to bring it back a couple months ago. And by golly, they're still doing it.
What if Biden tweets Gamergate? Would that kill Gamergate too?
Oh.
What if he tries to garner the gamer vote? Biden goes like, I've always been a gamer. I love dropping the N-word.
I think Joe Biden actually voted, was part of the Joe Lieberman and Hillary Clinton push to censor video games during the Mortal Kombat days.
Yeah, I believe he was.
What them kids playing, them video games?
Him and the fucking what was his name? Tipper? The lady who tried to ban metal in the US.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
She was like the wife of a Democrat politician.
Yeah.
Can't remember who. I think it wasn't he involved in that too. Where there was this weird crossover of like
I'm trying to think what
moral
I look up.
majority and Democrats who just hated the fun.
Well, that was always a running joke of like back in like the 80s and 90s and stuff, and there was like the right conservatives and stuff were poo-pooing on pop culture, and now we just flip the script of now to the Democrats and the left poo-pooing on culture and stuff. It's just like time is a flat circle.
Yeah, I mean the parties in the US have already switched positions once. What's to stop them from doing it again?
Yeah. As long as it means France will get nuked Germany into oblivion as they planned. Oh, don't promise me a good time. I went to open Twitter again. What's wrong with me? Man, it's just, man. Oh, I just realized list isn't an option in the drop down anymore. Huh. There's a sidebar. Interesting. Elon.
It's just like so a VTuber post where it's like YouTube apparently timestamps what caused limited ads now, which is theoretically very helpful. This is what got flagged as inappropriate, and it's her singing fucking Banana Phone. Too hot for YouTube.
Apparently, Trump just posted. Okay, I like this video.
Is he posting on Twitter again?
No, this one here is off of Instagram. Apparently, I think Elon. If I remember, I think Elon overturned his ban stuff. But I think Trump just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to stay on truth." Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
My
timelines are becoming like VTuber stuff again. Now they're scrolled enough.
Well, that's the reason why I have a that's why I have I use list. That's why I like using list, because my timeline feed is just fucking garbage, so I have to have my list, and that's why I've been refreshing it.
Okay, but this is interesting though. 3 hours ago, a certain Uni Luna added something to her website where it's derivative works guidelines.
To be fair, Pippa has been roommate posting for a while now. It does seem to be picking up. I'm kind of curious.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Could be nothing. Could be everything. Oh. The left is in full panic mode. I can't watch Young Turks, but I can only imagine how bad it is.
I mean, they're a little more radical, so they might have been like a bit more open about not liking Mr. Biden.
Yeah.
Well, do you think we're finished with the debate debacle?
Yeah, I guess we're done. I'm still kind of angry. Chat. Everyone was chatty, which I was happy about, but only the Sweden called in. Come on, guys. This was a free for all Mystery Science Theater 3000. I guess you have been elected my co-host. That's what the people are comfortable with.
Yeah, I suppose I have been the official, unofficial co-host.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thoroughly entertained, slightly confused. Happy the Jim's going to stream on the weekend, so I don't know. Overall, thumbs up.
Yeah, it's finished. It's over now. We can recover. We can recuperate from the strange debate.
Okay, I'm okay. I'm okay with life for another day. Okay, all right. I'm moving my mouse towards the stop streaming button. So, thanks for coming. Take it easy. Later. I need a drink.
See ya.
Oh, good.